my damn life.
Ain't no clapback videos, I'm looking.
I'm built different. We ain't the same.
Y'all, I touch him anytime I feel like it. I'm touching him now. I come from scum. That's why I'm a Christian. I come from backwoods, incest-driven maniacs. I'm designed and built to bully effeminate men. We come from the bottom, and he raises us up, and he cleans us off. And from that point forward, I've been walking clean, and he raises us up. Dang. And he cleans us off. Triple. And from that point forward, I've been walking,
laying on your back, spreading your leg. Dog. I know, pray when I see it.
Dog. Damn.
I've been a predator all my damn life. I'm built different.
Dog.
We ain't the same.
I touch him anytime I feel like it. I'm touching him now.
Hold up, hold the hell up. I didn't want to forget those bargain bin fluffers who calls themselves detractors. No, not all of you, fam. Season motherfucking 2.
I need my boyfriend.
Spreading your leg.
Dog. I need my boyfriend.
Laying on your back.
Dog. I need my boyfriend.
Spreading your leg.
Dog. I need my boyfriend.
For a train being run on
effeminate men. Dog. I need my boyfriend.
Spreading your leg.
I need my boyfriend.
For a train being run on
effeminate men.
Hey fam, it's your girl Samantha. I got a favor to ask of you. The Sinner's Commentary is a labor of love from Eric.
You guys like pizza? I know I do. I love pizza. I'm Italian. I'm disappointed that since I moved out here to the West Coast, there is not a really authentic East Coast Italian style pizza out here. Would you like to have a pizza party with me? Pizza pie! Mega the pizza pie! Greasy shit. Pizza pie! Felipe! Pizza pie! Cheese? Pizza pie! Lucio! Pizza pie! Weird sauce? Pizza pie! Crazy meat? Pizza pie! Mamma mia! Mega the pizza pie! Pizza pie! Felipe! Pizza pie! Turn on the oven! Mozzarella! And delicious! Take it all of them! Roll it out, they toss in the air! Of course, bounties are for fun, little girl. Again, I can't make anyone do anything. This is not a commitment. There's no legal contract.
Yo, what up, KB?
People saying they're gonna do something nice.
Yeah, I voted for wings, man. I voted for wings.
Nice, do it.
I knew
if
it.
You don't, you're banned.
Oh, Boogie can't even move, dude. What do you mean?
Owe me easy money, right? 10, 20, 40, bruh.
Nah, I haven't watched it.
Easy money.
I have to see it.
10, 20, 40.
Where can I watch it?
Easy
Can I
money.
watch it like right now?
$10 top 10, $20 top 5.
Is it on like YouTube or
Got
something?
the bag, got the bag. Correct? I have your super chat right here. That's $40.
Yeah, now Wings will be able to. He'll be able to get his new roof, and then he'll pretty much have nothing left. Nice, nice.
Easy money, right? 10, 20, 40. Correct? Easy money. 10, 20, 40. Easy money. Easy money. 10, 20, 40. Correct? Easy money. 10, 20, 40. Easy money.
This one's for all my baby girls. I ain't left you. I ain't never gonna leave you. I'm always gonna love you. I'm always gonna flirt on you. I'm always gonna push up on you. But right now, I'm drinking. Drinky drink. I'm drinking.
Whale tail.
For no reason. Am I gay? Hell yeah. But right now, I'm drinking remix. I'm stalking and I'm lurking and rapping for weekend. I'm
Big
drinking.
Up's misguided.
Whale tail.
I'm drinking. Stocking.
Oh,
And I'm drinking. And I'm drinking.
Whale tail jet.
let me watch this.
Level 1. I streamed myself masturbating. I'll be the guy. Fuck life. I'll be the for the thousands of children. I'll be the guy on level 1. You're still on mission 1. I'll be the guy on level 1. Married happily, paycheck to paycheck happily, meaningful relationship, meaningful life with a family. And that, by the way, I have to raise money to pay 2 big bills next week. All my utilities are due next week.
All right. I got
If I stopped streaming, I would not be able to get a job.
I got the fight up here.
So it would be the end of my life.
Let me see how
But
this
outside
goes
of
down.
that, everything else is good in my life. You know what I mean? So I'll be the guy on level 1. I streamed myself masturbating. I'll be the guy. Fuck life. I'll be the for the thousands of children. I'll be the guy on level 1. You're still on mission 1. I'll be the
Damn,
guy.
bro. Okay.
I'll be the thousands of
Damn, son.
Pay bills. I have to pay bill. I have to pay my taxes, pay my back taxes. I have to pay my mortgage, pay my internet bill. I have to pay bills. I have to pay
Yeah, this is like kind of surreal to just watch. I'm like, it's just weird, you know. I'm not used to seeing Wings anywhere but like his inside the modular mansion, you know.
Day to day, tips to tips.
Yo, why isn't Phil reacting live to this, man? Why isn't he doing a live react for this? Dude, you know how much money he would... Bro, he made so much money yesterday. He could have made so much more money today.
To make money, I have to pay bills. You know, I
What a
have
dummy.
to pay bills. I have to pay bill. I have to pay taxes. Bills. I have to pay bills.
For people that are alive, for fucking people that are dead, you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. You have no respect.
Apologizing isn't just words.
You have no respect. Do you value money more than our friendship?
Oh, in the face. Wings.
We want nothing to do with Phil
Whoa.
moving forward. Let's make up a bunch
Whoa.
of shit. Twist a
That
bunch of
first
shit
shot,
to make
yo,
himself back,
what?
'cause everyone hates him now anyway on the internet.
Wings coming
so
for
let's
that.
make him look like the villain.
Oh,
so
he's
everyone
coming.
will
He's coming
believe
for
it,
him.
And we'll just be washing our hands.
Oh,
of
this
the
is sad,
situation.
bro.
We never
Wings
have
is
to deal with
pummeling
it
him.
again. And you know what? Look what's happened. Literally, no one bugs them anymore.
What the fuck
nothing.
is
It's
this,
all- they're
dude?
Completely washed. The cans are clean.
Yeah, Wings went hard, dude, right out the gate.
People that are alive, for fucking people that are dead,
Yo, Boogie can't even move. What is he doing?
but yourself. You have no respect.
Apologizing isn't just words. It's I will not do this thing
You have
again
no respect.
because I feel bad about it.
He watches too much.
Oh, Boogie looks like he's hurting, dude. He's not. Oh, he can't even throw a punch.
6 o'clock in the morning. That means it's like 2 o'clock in the morning there. So now, when you start reading them, you start looking at it, and it doesn't make any sense why he's even texting.
Gotcha. I love it. Got me that. Gotcha.
No, not the slow-mo, dude. Oh.
Gotcha.
Whoa.
Begging
But Boogie doesn't know where he's at, dude. It looks like he's in outer space.
I'm stupid. WWE game plays like Candy Crush. Moving gems around. Breaking colored gems. I love it. Again, it's pay to win. The more money you sink into it, the more characters you can summon, the higher chance you'll get the better characters, etc., etc. All right.
Dude, it's like a. It's like a Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They're just like flailing at each other. Like hopefully somebody goes down, right? Jesus Christ. Dude, Keemstar has created a monstrosity.
Gone, bitch. Fuck you and your mother. Fuck the trolls, bitch. Fuck you and your mother. I'm just going to ban. Why am I toxic? Ban. Gone, bitch. Fuck you and your mother. I'm just going to fuck you and your mother. That's right. In the United States of Phil, I am the
Okay,
supreme being.
sure.
I make the rules. What I say goes. This is my land. A nice lean-in manual. Now, just because I can, I'll issue a lean-in manual ban.
Yeah, Boogie got whooped on. Well, good for Wings, you know? I mean, Boogie's not even really a thing anymore, is he? I know he still makes content, but nobody like covers Boogie or like, I don't know. I don't really think about Boogie that much. Oh yeah, I just watched it. I just watched it. Yeah, it was
I'm just going to fuck you and your
oh, there's a tweaker like outside screaming right now. What the fuck? I'll play a Wings song for Wings for his victory.
Go!
Congratulations, Wings.
Liquid Richard. This is
Good job. Smoked him.
Check this out.
He smoked him.
Fat
for
fuck, but you know you hoe love me.
Mix a lot again.
Y'all niggas ready? Oh, yeah.
That flow is out of style like a week ago. Whole system broken like it's Cully. Go. Vision. I stick pussies with precision. Vision. I stick pussies with a hot kitchen. I hit it from the back. 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 Listen to this track. Your mom gives me double stack. Hop on the BBC. Gets to her knee. Fucking worthless niggas. Go green. Ejaculation.
Yeah, good for Wings, you know. 50K. That's nice.
Get that ass big. Get that ass big. Ejaculation machine. Notification go green. Get that ass big. Get that ass big. Everybody come pull out your cocks.
Clean up my shade.
You know they're already out.
What do you say? He needs like 30K to fix his roof? Shit.
That flow is out of
There goes
style
most
like
of it,
a
right?
week ago. Whole system broken like it's Cully. Go. Vision. I stick pussies with precision. Vision. I stick pussies with a hot kitchen. I hit it from the back.
Yeah, I'll box.
From the back.
The line is very long for the box DSP. You know? I have to get in line, basically. Yeah, I'm in line.
Get money when you're fat. That's what you like to do. Shout out to Chris Chan. I've drunk my own piss, man. Man, people cheat on their wife, man. It's a normal thing. People cheat on their wife, man. It's a normal thing. Wing. This one goes out to you little soft music loving motherfuckers. Really tall. Motherfucker. What?
That flow is out of style like a week ago. Whole system broken like it's Cully. Go. Vision. I stick pussies with precision. Vision. I stick pussies within a hot kitchen. I hit it from the back. I hit it from the back. I hit it from the back. I hit it from the from the back.
Really slow.
Welfare check is early this month. Looking to chill, interact, and have fun. Open up my YouTube page, and I see your melting face. And when I hear you burn, I'm the only dent on earth. This is so meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. Your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you're guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you don't work just like my legs. Fuck the stupid trolls saying that you beg. You're not the same guy you were yesterday. Here's 150 for the vest today. It's time for a silly bubble blow, or I'm gonna close the tab and go. What's your favorite type of food? And can you read my haiku? Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. Yeah, your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you're guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, is meaningful to me. Yeah, your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you're guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, is meaningful to me.
This guy's still outside screaming at the top of his lungs. Oh my god.
Adds sweetness, adds a contrast. If you don't, it's all going to be tartness, and you won't
That
have
was
any.
okay.
It's going to be acidity from tomatoes.
Right, you'll have
And then
tart,
spice.
tart and it's acid and nothing else. All right. So now we got to stir all that in, and then we add our final ingredients, and then the meat.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian bills. Italian
Bro.
dark side fit.
Windows 11 is the worst. Like, why?
Italian
How come when I
wife.
drag shit to the side, it
Italian chill.
maximizes the window? Like, it's so
Italian can't
weird.
give a pill. I'm
I
half
don't
kind of
know what they
European
were thinking
mix.
with this shit, dude.
European style, Asian fusion style tips. Greasy hair. Pasta one.
This is like the worst Windows
Authentic style,
since
Asian
like
fusion style, Italian.
Guess what else
Phil's
we're gonna
version,
add?
like 8.
Sausage. Italian sausage. That's going to go in here too.
I love sausage. I have had many varieties.
Yo, what's up, Katie?
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian bills. Italian dark side fit. Italian wife.
Italian wife.
But my cat likes to sit on paper. I don't know.
Italian caregiver pill. Why do you pretend to be Italian? I don't. I'm not full-blooded Italian. That'd be ridiculous for me to claim. I'm a quarter Italian. I am 1/4 Polish, and then I'm half kind of European mix. Why do I say I'm not a children's entertainer? Because I'm not a Muppet. I'm not here to play a character. I'm not here to pretend that I'm something that I'm not. And quite frankly, those people who make that shit up should be sued. They should be sued into oblivion. But I'm not a rich man, and I don't have the means to do it. You know, some of that stuff out there has been insanely damaging and messed up. The things they said about me and my family, that's completely false. And they have absolutely no factual corroboration for any of it.
Look at Mom. Who?
I'm a dunce. I'm a dunce. Yes, that's true. He's a pedophile. He's a racist. He's a sexist. Yes, that's true. I smell. I'm a dunce. Offensive. Egregious cross-dresser. Yes, that's true. Gifted a body that has a lot of shortcomings, okay? Bad back injury. A severely herniated gout. You oozing with grit. Postnasal gout. Gout is a disease that makes you act like an ass. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's a scammer. He's this. He's that. Yes, that's true. I'm a dunce. I'm a dunce. Yes, that's true. He's a pedophile. He's a racist. He's a sexist. Yes, that's true. I smell. I'm a dunce. Stupid mouth drooler. Offensive. Egregious cross-dresser. Yes, that's true. I'm a dunce. I'm a dunce. Yes, that's true. He's a pedophile. He's a racist. He's a sexist. Yes, that's true. I smell. I'm a dunce. Offensive. Egregious cross-dresser. Yes, that's true. It was like Phil's an embezzler, and Phil invests his money in terrorism, and Phil's a drug dealer. So I'm having a dream that basically people are saying every heinous kind of thing they could possibly say about me, but because of who I am, people believe it.
You know, I think they accidentally streamed.
$11.95? You can't afford $11.95? What's your problem?
Oh, never mind. This was somebody else.
Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl,
where's Phil?
juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Yeah, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. If I was that guy from the farming website, I'll treat you right, clap those cheeks all night. I would change your life, no more OnlyFans. I will be your only man. Free Kool-Aid for life, only for $11.95. No more living in a van. We're going on vacation in Japan, and you can use my hot tub. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above.
Good morning, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the show. Happy Saturday, or I guess what I should say is, Happy Catterday. What do I mean by that? I mean, I have a cat. You may have met him. You may have seen him. His name is Jasper Kitty. And,
Yeah.
he did not want to let me sleep this morning.
Okay.
Let's say the least, he really did not want to allow me to actually get rest. It was around like 2 to 3 hours early from when I usually would wake up in the morning. And he decides it's time to get up, and he's kneading the bed, and he is rubbing, and he's pushing, and he is trying, my God. So basically,
that's what
I
cats
have shattered sleep, like normally I'd be sleeping nice and smooth, and I, very disjointed sleep. So as you can see, I probably look really tired today.
Yo, you know how I wake up every morning? You know what wakes me up? Every single morning of my entire life? My cat. And I've never complained about it.
He bothered my wife as well, but not as much. He was bothering me more.
Cats don't bother things.
I don't
dude.
know why.
They're fucking cats, dude.
Last night he was super, like energetic too. Like he was bouncing all around the house. So I think what it is it's very hot right now in Washington State.
Another thing that cats do.
And so we have all the doors and windows closed. And we have all the air conditioners
What's up,
on.
Logan?
So when it's cool and we have air blowing, Jasper gets what's called the zoomies. All right, this is
pig-splaining
when a
zoomies,
cat gets
okay.
super hyper, like overstimulated, excited, and its eyes get real wide, starts bouncing all over the house. So he had this all day yesterday, and the thing is, it's just gonna get hotter after the weekend here, and it's gonna get worse and worse. Like I have the air conditioner on already because already the sun is beating on the outside of my office window, so I have to have it on to keep the temperature down. If I didn't, it would end up getting really, really hot in here. In fact, I'm going to actually turn it down to about 75. Try to keep it around 75 in here. But yeah, like, so he's already hyper. And now, with the air AC pumping, now he's, like, bouncing all over the house. And now he wants to get up early. It's like, ugh. So anyway, guys, I'm here. I swear. I might need to get toothpicks. Put them in my eyes to stay here today. Stay awake for you. But welcome to the show.
Yeah, get him some of those
The Level 1 podcast.
From,
it is May 13th. I can't even say the day.
You know when they're making him watch the shit?
May 13th, 2023. Okay? And I hope that you guys are having a good day, a good weekend, whatever it may be. Today on the show, a big chunk is going to be about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This week's big new release, the hype release that everyone is playing and talking about. After having played 5 hours of this game yesterday, I would like to give you my informed opinion of what I've seen so far.
Boogie didn't even throw a punch, dog.
And, hopefully have a good time. Bro, giving you my early impressions of the game. I will be playing the game a lot more. I'm playing it tonight on the late stream. I'm going to be playing it as major streams later this week.
Wings had him stun locked the whole time.
But I would like to let you know within the first intro segment and then finally hitting the open world.
Staggering him.
What do I really think about it? All right, so that's going to be the major focus of the podcast today. Outside of that, no real new game news or anything like that going on this morning, which is good because I think the last 2 days we had a pretty heavy
I hope Boogie
podcast.
got
a lot of
bucks
games
for that loss.
All right. And so, we shall begin at the beginning, shall we? All right. So how y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Remember, today's React Day. That means that after the Level 1 podcast ends, we scoot over to DSP Reacts, my sister channel, which you can find at youtube.com/@DSP That's the address on YouTube. And we're going to be doing DSP versus the Internet. This is my weekly clip show. Yeah. Where I react to clips
I think that first punch was like
submitted by the members of that channel.
Wings' first swing.
Let me tell you,
it's like boom.
Take a look at the clips. I actually have the playlist up right now. We have some first time stuff. We have people reacting to chefs. We have some kind of a performance band. We've got the history of some pop culture characters. We actually have some gameplay trailers, which people have been asking me, hey, did you see this game? Did you see this game? I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. So they actually nominated it, and now we get to react to those trailers today and see for the first time what they're all about. We actually have some stuff about Japan. I believe there was some tourism stuff about various countries as well. ASMR. Yeah, there's actually ASMR in there. Visual effects in movies.
No.
I mean, I keep going here. Look at this. This is a good variety of stuff this week, I would say. I would say this week, more variety. Here's a ride guide. Something cute with, like, pets and animals.
What would DSP ASMR be?
This is interesting.
We like crinkle $100 bill.
Like a acapella
Crinkle,
music.
Right, like next to the mic.
A food comparison
Maybe,
video, but it's not what you think. It's not like,
slurp down a greasy
compare
burger,
UK this to that. It's actually like a bunch of brands of similar foods compared in quality, which is kind of interesting. Of course, we have our usual variety of memes and joke videos and things thrown in there. Some of which will probably be good, and some of which probably will not be good. You know, it's always a good mix.
Oh, this
on
snort.
the reaction.
Yeah, the snort for sure.
But
that's
around
60
things were nominated, which is about the same amount as usual. I did have to eliminate some this week. Okay, so allow me to explain. First of all, I think this was the first time ever, all right, where it was actually a lot of duplicates, and I was confused at that because I don't think we've really had many or any duplicate submissions up to now. But this week we had like 4 or 5 duplicates that we've already watched on the show. Like I know one of them was a skit from like Mega 64. And another I think is like a Resident Evil 4 animated skit.
Dents can't keep it straight. Man.
And I was like, what is this? Right? Like what why are they renominated? I guess someone doesn't watch the show, but now they're nominating for the show. It was kind of confusing. But in addition, there was some stuff, again, it was adult rated. I can't watch adult rated videos because those get flagged and blocked on YouTube.
Oh, you mean like
among other things, you know. But for the most part, it's still going to be a great show. We still have over, I think it's like 53
age-restricted
videos in the playlist to
so
get
no
through.
Cobra.
As you know,
you can't watch any Cobra.
Get through all of them, right? Never.
You can't respond. You can't react to any Cobra. It's all age restricted.
It's going to be a good show, and we'll swap over to that after we finish the podcast today. 3 hours of reacting as usual, and then tonight we come back here to the channel for gameplay of more Zelda. All right, this is going to be exciting. So, I think what we should do is let's go through the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what's coming up, and then we will talk about Zelda at length, because I really have I have a lot of good things to say about it, honestly. Probably more than I thought I was going to have to talk about. I thought that I was going to come here and be like, oh, man. But actually, it's kind of not that way, and that's a good thing, I think. So, okay. So, ladies and gents, let's talk. First of all, schedule-wise, as you know, I just said it's react.
Hold up. I just thought about something. Did he said no adult stuff, but he doesn't stream to kids, though. So why wouldn't he be able to watch adult videos? That makes no sense, Phil. Honestly, now that I think about it, all of your shit should be age restricted because, you know, you're always making, like, crude jokes and, like, cursing and, I don't know. I feel like you're, like, an 18-plus streamer.
Day, and then tonight it is Zelda at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Will be another 2-hour stream of Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, right here on DSP Gaming.
Right, you know.
I hope that you guys will join me for that. That should be a good time.
Or should get more ad
Tomorrow
revenue if,
we mix it up, so that way we're not just playing Zelda constantly. Tomorrow it's going to be a podcast followed by Star Wars Jedi Survivor. All right.
Maybe you can get like
I hope that you guys will join me for that.
I'm sure you could
the
get
streams
like
of Jedi Survivor are such
a sex toy
weird, almost
ad or something.
walking contradiction style stream.
Some adult style ads.
And what I mean by that is, there's usually good gameplay. There's usually really well,
maybe
really
a dispensary
good,
will
like world
take
design,
out an ad on your
right?
video.
And I like some of the story elements as well. And then the game has a bunch of bugs and graphical issues. So it's kind of like, how did we combine all these really good things with something really terrible, right? It doesn't even seem to make sense. It's like, how did we get this dichotomy of a game? It's like half good, half bad.
That'd be funny.
Tomorrow we're actually going to a new planet for the first time. It's
YouTube?
so crazy. I've been playing the game for 14
I feel like
freaking
I
hours.
used to.
And now we're finally going to get to this new planet.
I don't know
like,
anymore
because
I got ad block like years ago.
I don't know why the intro was so long. So tomorrow we will see
forever, but I don't know
how things go. Because we need to,
I feel like I used
basically
to see
within the next few weeks start making decisions. All right, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So Star Wars continues tomorrow, and then tomorrow night on the late stream is the continuation of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion's Shivering Isles DLC. All right, so we're near the end of Shivering Isles. At this point, I think there's like 2 to 3 achievements left to finish it.
You're rushing through it, Phil.
And
you're rushing
the
to
rate
get
we've
through
been playing, it looks like we hit those pretty much like 2-3 achievements in one stream. So if we just focus on the story, which I'm going to do, we will likely beat the Shivering Isles DLC tomorrow. Excuse me.
He started
which is good.
He started getting
because as I've been telling you
on,
guys, we're trying to get into some games
now
that are
he's trying
kind of
to
the
get
home
out of
stretch.
it.
And this is the one that we're the closest to finishing right now. So if we really hone in on, let's get as far as we can in the story, finish that, then let's get to the actual mainstream end of the story, which is the main game story. Then we could probably beat it within a week or two, I'm thinking, with nice streams, all right? In which case, that's great, because that's going to free up more time, all right, for us to actually focus on the other games that I'm playing and trying to juggle.
What's up, Heather?
So, Sunday night, more Oblivion. Let's make some great progress, okay? I'm actually not getting cold in here. Now that I turned up the air conditioner, now I'm cold, so I'm going to turn it a little cooler, or a little warmer now. So hopefully it'll turn off and not freeze me.
Damn, it's
so
hard to
Monday,
tweak the atmosphere.
It's going to be more Zelda on the main stream. 3 more hours of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And then the late stream on Monday night is going to be Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. Now, it's funny because we're playing Pixel Remaster, and I really like the game. You know, it's a classic Final Fantasy game. I've played it before. I really, really enjoyed it as I played it in the past, but I never did a playthrough for YouTube. And I'm playing it, and I'm like, I think we're near the end. Like, I swear, like, we're getting near the end of this game. Because we're in the second world now, the second world map. And we're flying around on the Drake, and I think we got to get, like, another airship or whatever. And there's a few dungeons we're doing. Like, I think we're nearing the end of the game. And then someone says to me, oh, well, the game's like 32 hours long. And I look at my playthrough, and my playthrough's like 16 and 15 hours. And I'm like, oh, shit. I swear the game it was shorter. Like, Final Fantasy IV is shorter. I didn't realize how long Final Fantasy V was. Now, by the way, I'm not complaining. I like Final Fantasy V. But again, one of the things that we need to do is wrap up playthroughs by the end of the month to make room for new playthroughs next month. And, you know, I'm looking at it like, oh boy, I thought this was going to be one that would be more of a quicker playthrough. And now it looks like we're maybe in this one for the long haul. I was actually hoping to free up both night streams so we could use the night streams to play the daytime games and finish up more daytime games in progress. So,
bro, the way your brain
works is what it is.
Amazing, Phil.
I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to more chill fun Monday night. And it looks like it's going to be longer than I thought it would be.
I'm good.
Okay. Now, Tuesday is a day that you guys are going to be interested in, because Tuesday you are going to determine what I play on stream. We have 3 options, all right? 3 options for a game on the mainstream on Tuesday. Option number 1 would be more Zelda. Option number 2 would be more Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and option number 3 would be a major story, a major stream of Elden Ring. And my bad if I'm a little disheveled today. As I said, I didn't get as much sleep as I should, so I'm probably gonna be saying half of the wrong words and and misspeaking. Okay.
Bro, you should have slept like a baby with all that money from yesterday, dude.
So,
how
are we going to determine what we're playing on Tuesday's mainstream?
Right?
A poll. What I'm going to do is during the day, likely on Monday, I'm going to post up a poll on DSP Gaming's community tab where you guys are going to vote and determine what's the main game going to be on Tuesday. And I'm okay with all of them. At this point, Elden Ring's really picked up. My Glintstone Sorcerer run has gotten very exciting now, because now I've gotten all the tools I need to essentially start melting bosses. In fact, if you didn't see the session that I did a couple days ago,
I saw it though.
You really missed out, because I started utilizing not only the moon spell, which is the spell that you get from Renala when you beat her at the academy, but also the Comet Azure spell, which is basically like a giant beam of energy, like the Kamehameha, like in freaking Dragon Ball.
That was the thing he melted.
But I've now got the build
to
actually start using it.
I just want to see him.
It was melting bosses. It's literally. I mean, I melted. What's it, Morgoth, and then I melted, of all things, the Lich Dragon, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do, and it just like demolished this thing. I was like, oh my god. So, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this against everything in the game, but certainly this is pretty entertaining. Now it's a completely different feel than my first run of the game, being able to melt people with this magic. Now that it took me a long time. I mean, we're about 40 hours into this playthrough, but now it seems like I finally got settled into the groove, as they say, with the equipment, with all of the stats that I have, and everything set up. So I'd be down for more Elden Ring,
every best item in the
or
whole
if you're
game.
Liking Zelda and you want more of that right away, or if you want more
overpowered.
Star Wars, whatever you want, vote. And like I said, that poll will likely be going live
fact
probably
that
Monday-ish.
you still
you can
are
vote
getting
over the
whooped
course of
on
Monday into Tuesday and determine the first stream. And then Tuesday night we'll do
It's
more
just a
Oblivion. That way
testament to
we're getting
how
even
dog
further in
shit you
Oblivion.
are
Like I said,
at
likely we're
video
going to end up
games.
beating the Shivering Isles DLC and head back to the main story. And within a couple streams there, we might even wrap up the main story, and then we'll have more time for the other games on night streams.
Yeah,
okay?
he cheesed.
So that is the schedule for this week.
Well, yeah, they
next
held his
week,
hand
it
through
was
the whole
supposed to be a
game
new
and
game,
just had him
the
go
new
get
Amnesia
every,
the Bunker game,
you know,
but it got delayed
you
for
know,
certification issues.
all the-
Originally, it was supposed
all
to
the
come
good
out on the
shit, you know?
16th, which would have been, what, Tuesday? But it's delayed until, get this, June 6th. If you're not aware, June 6th is the same day that Diablo 4 comes out, and just a couple days after Street Fighter 6 comes out. So sadly, I hate to say it, this game is going to get
Damn.
buried in a
Hogan's
pile
were
of press
pulled.
for bigger, more hyped games.
Yo,
And I wonder if anyone's even going to be talking about Amnesia when it comes out.
That's why I
Kinda
made that
sad because
thumbnail
I did
too,
like
'cause, like,
the Amnesia series.
yesterday was so
and I
good,
may
I
still
just
play
knew,
this
like,
game, but it's very doubtful that I'm going to be playing it at launch when
he
I'm going to
just
be busy
was
with these other hotter new releases.
gonna have a sack full
So we'll
of
see
money
what
on
happens
Hogan's,
with that.
dude.
But that's so that because of that, there's no new game this coming week. So all I'm going to do this
Just
next
knew
week
what he
is
was
focus
doing that
solely
night, last night.
on making progress in all the games I'm playing. If I do happen to wrap up Oblivion, great. Now we can have one of these main games go to a night stream situation and get extra gameplay. In addition, we've got a very exciting event coming up, folks. That's right. On Sunday, May 21st, so only 1 week and 1 day, 8 days from today, it is my Fight and Feast Marathon right here on DSP Gaming. And I'm very excited because we're going to be doing so many cool fighting game related things. I don't think I've ever really done like a fighting game related special event. Have I played fighting games? Of course. Have I done sets in fighting games? Of course. I mean, I remember the Madness series from over a decade ago. That was really cool when I would play with one character and play with them online for hours and hours.
No, this is live.
But in this case, we're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff in order to hype up the impending release of Street Fighter 6, which is coming out June 2nd.
What's up, Zyla?
So,
Boom.
we're going to be doing classic
He talked
runs
about,
in old school
he's
fighting
been-
games in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection.
He's been
it's gonna
talking
be the
about
stream
Amnesia,
chat
though.
that's going to vote on the games and the characters I use in said games
he might
to
have
run
talked
through
about
the
it
highest
yesterday.
difficulty arcade modes, okay?
I feel like he did at some point.
It's going to be fun. In addition, we're going to be doing Tier Maker fun. And Tier Maker, if you don't know, is going to be great. It's going to be
It's
me
gonna be
ranking
great.
likely like fighting
Tier
game
Maker
franchises
is-
or Street Fighter in general, or maybe Street
It's
Fighter
gonna be
characters
great.
against each
It's
other,
gonna be great.
right? We'll see. Really, really
We'll see,
interesting
though.
to say the least.
It's gonna be great,
okay?
but we'll see.
It should be a good time. And then we're going to be trying food out of the Street Fighter cookbook.
Oh my god.
Over the course of this week, my wife is going to look recipes in the cookbook, pick ones out, and then actually next week on our day off coming up, my wife and I are going to go shopping and buy the ingredients that we need, and then we're going to have a bunch of Street Fighter recipes made. I'm going to be doing taste testing while going through the recipes. I'll read the recipe, show you
Hit up
the
that
lore,
Kroger.
whatever it is we're about to eat, and then try it together and see if it's actually any good. In addition to that, since you guys seem to want it, we may also do a WWE 2K fantasy match, a battle royale where all fighting game characters from different franchises will fight. It'll be like Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat versus Tekken, which would be perfect because all three of those games are actually getting new releases this year. Okay? So, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a great marathon, something different, something entertaining, and a great way to hype up the release of Street Fighter 6.
The next
Hopefully get people
scam.
back into the
The
fighting
next
game
event
mindset because I
scam.
haven't played
Nice.
fighting games in a very long time on a
There's
regular
been so
basis.
many of
okay?
these, dude.
So that's coming May 21st. Mark your calendars. Be here. I'm actually going to split the content. We're going to stream it all here, but some of the content will be uploaded here. Some of the content will be uploaded to the React channel. It's going to be a good mix of content for everyone for the week there.
Yo, split it up as much as you can.
So that's coming
That'll-
up. And then the only
that'll
other
help you
thing
get
really going
views.
on this month, near the end of the month, on May 25th, there is a new release called Lord of the Rings Gollum. So it is a game featuring, obviously, the character Gollum. And it seems like it's a stealth-based game that follows the story of Gollum that's not well known.
That's what I
like,
keep
everyone
saying.
knows
Like,
that Gollum
I'm
had
like,
interactions
she's
with
gonna-
Bilbo during The Hobbit.
Well,
And everyone
first
knows
of
that
all,
Gollum
she's gonna set it
had
on
interactions
fire.
with Frodo and Samwise
Second of all,
during the
everyone's
Lord of the
gonna make
Rings.
fun of it,
But what
and then
about
Phil's
what
gonna
happened in
freak out.
between? And apparently there's a lot of lore to happen between those mainstream stories, and that's what the game is going to kind of cover a lot of. But it is a stealth
They said
game,
my wife's
surprisingly.
cooking
it's
looked
not,
like a
it's not like
horse.
combat centric. It's more like sneaking around and stuff. Looks good. However, as I said, this month already we've got jam-packed with 3 games that I need to try to get through by the end of the month. So I don't know if it's going to make a lot of sense to really be playing another new game this month when I really need to hone in on the ones I'm playing and get through as far as I can and try to finish them up before Street Fighter 6 releases on June 2nd. Okay? So we're going to see what happens. We're going to focus in on the 3 games I'm playing right now on the daytime streams. Like I said, when we finish Oblivion, one of those games or more will be played on night streams as well. I'm going to do my best to balance and make as much progress as humanly possible before the month ends. All right? And then, when we get near the end of the month, we can make a judgment. Gee, should we play Gollum? Do we have room in the schedule for it? Or are we just so inundated with all these games that it makes no sense to play that game and we skip it, and then the next new game we play is actually Street Fighter 6? All right? So we're going to look at that. We're going to make those decisions, and we're going to go from there. So, that is the schedule for the month. All right? I think we got through all of it.
Okay.
I hope that sounds good to everyone.
I didn't hear anything.
Should be a good variety of stuff.
This is why I don't know what's going on,
No long-form React event on DSP Reacts this month. I listened to your feedback, and you guys essentially said I'm taking too much time away from the games that I'm playing, and it takes too long. So I said, well, if we're already taking out time to do a special event on the 21st, the Fight and Feast, then I don't think we should do a long-form React. Maybe what we'll do is we'll alternate. One month we do a special event on DSP Gaming, and then the next month we do a special event on DSP Reacts, and we kind of alternate back and forth between the two. I'd be totally down for that, okay?
DSP
so, good
reacts,
stuff.
Get it? Reacts.
What we'll do is we'll start to talk about what long-form kind of Reacts thing would you like to see next month on DSP Reacts near the end of this month. And that way we'll have a few weeks to plan it out and maybe set it up and have all that going. Keep in mind, in early June, we're also going to have a ton of game release news because it's when E3 normally would be. But we're going to have, there's going to be a Sony showcase. There's going to be an Xbox showcase.
E3's
Summer
done,
Games
right?
Fest is going
they're
on.
Not doing it
the
anymore?
big expose about Starfield is coming out, all within about a week to 2 weeks' time. And so, that'll be exciting to get all the new game news and kind of populate the gaming landscape and schedule for the rest of the year in early June.
E3, right?
So that'll be excellent as well. All right. Okay. So we got through the schedule. I hope that sounds good to everybody. Like I said, sadly, there's no gaming news to really talk about today. So instead, let us talk about what I think about the initial gameplay of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Okay.
So yesterday, I played this game for about 5 hours. It was 3 hours on my first premiere stream.
Kind of like it.
And then it was about another 2 hours on the late night stream. Okay?
Something like
say,
that.
Well, how did it go? What did you think? I'll tell you. First of all, graphically, it is an improvement from Breath of the Wild. I can tell you that. However, it ain't much of an improvement. All right? What I did notice was more detail in the environments, and in particular in things like the shadows and the water. I found a distinct improvement upon the graphics. Okay? When I'm in the water, like, it's actually reflective and it looks realistic. In the last game, it looked like goo. Okay? And the same thing with the shadows. Like, you know, the shadows didn't look that good in the first game, and this one they look way more detailed. Now, I should say something
likes goo, dude.
up front.
He loves it.
I wanted to play Tears of the Kingdom. I wanted to play Breath of the Wild on the Switch. I bought a Switch specifically for it, and my Switch died the day that Breath of the Wild came out. Like, literally bricked, and I couldn't play it. So I had to play it on Wii U.
I remember watching that video.
So the only comparison that I have
it's still up.
Is Wii U version of Breath of the Wild versus Switch version of Tears of the Kingdom
on his channel.
So please understand that. All right. I can't really make a direct comparison. I wish I could.
He was acting so dumb too. He's like, "What's wrong with it?"
So the graphics definitely are slightly improved. I would say there's more detail in the environments. However, the graphics are still at most 30 frames per second. And yes, I definitely noticed skips, freezes, and frame rate drops at key moments. You know, in the middle of combat, all of a sudden, bloop. Well, wait, I don't want the frame rate to dip now in the middle of a fight, right? Or, you know, you're going through an interesting area and a lot's going on around you, and all of a sudden the game's chugging along. And you're just like, what is going on, man? Like, what? Seriously. Like, how is this a modern game that still runs like this? And the worst part about it is Nintendo's charging $10 more. They're charging $69.99 for
that really chaps your ass, right, Phil?
For what? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So
I'm
really,
like, looking at how the game is performing.
Really bugs you.
I don't understand where the extra money went, because it literally looks like Breath of the Wild, which, by the way, isn't a knock or a slant.
So should it be free because it's Breath of the Wild?
It looks like a game from 6 years ago. So where did the $10 go? And why did Nintendo feel like they were justified in charging it? It's a good question. Okay. Now, the gameplay elements. All right. This is what I was most apprehensive and skeptical about. All right. So right off the bat, when you start with Tears of the Kingdom, you get introduced to all these new gameplay elements. There's basically, it's not really building, because I think the gameplay that they showed you as a preview made you feel more like you're going to be building things like Minecraft, and that's really not the case. What it really is kind of combining and sticking things together, as opposed to actually building things from the ground up. It's not like, oh, I have a formula where, you know, I need 10 tree branches and 3 pieces of twine and a stone, and I build a raft.
So,
it's more like, okay, so there's some logs around. There just happens to be a sail, which is really weird that there's just sails laying around in the environment, but they are.
Seems
maybe there's
like,
a motor on the
comparing
ground
it to
or whatever,
Minecraft
right?
was a little wrong,
and then
Phil.
you use your new ability to essentially stick items together, like with glue. And it's actually funny because it looks like glue. It looks like green glue holding items together in the environment. And
maybe
it
you should have
works,
waited to, like,
but it is
judge
a
the
little
game.
wonky and a little unrefined. And here's what I mean by that. Like, they try to make it be as easy as possible, but you can only move in 2 dimensions. You can only rotate things on either a horizontal or a vertical axis. You can't fully
It's like your Green
3D
Lantern,
rotate
basically.
an item.
Well, no, because you can't
And because
make
of that,
items.
you're limited in the way that you can move an item.
It's
and if you
kinda
want to
like
get
your
it a
Green
certain
Lantern.
way, sometimes it can be very frustrating to rotate it to get it exactly the way you want. All right? There's also, it's kind of hard to create distance. Like, for example, if you have an item floating in front of you and you want to attach it to something right there, sometimes you can't really get the distance right. Oh, I just want to have it snap right next to the side. Oops, it's too far, it's too close. You can't, it's hard to get it in the right position. It doesn't feel like it's full control. It feels like they did their best with what they could do
His
with a
chat
standard
is, like,
controller,
done with this shit.
control
They're like,
scheme, but it
enough,
really
dude.
doesn't feel like that.
Enough of this shit. Nobody wants to listen to this, Phil.
You know,
look at your chat.
It doesn't feel like that.
Bro, do you even like?
So,
you
anyway,
don't care. Dude. You don't care. Like,
it's a little wonky. You want to stick stuff together, you can't necessarily get things to stick together properly. All right.
Boogie is level 2 and Wings is level 3.
As for how to solve puzzles, what I like about it, all right, is that
look at your chat, Phil.
Basically, you can do things in different ways. It seems like to me like, okay, so the
Yeah, this is
obvious
more
common sense
entertaining.
way
I'm
to
just
do
gonna read his
this
chat
is to
instead of
build a
listening to him.
platform, put a hook on it, have that hook on this big, you know, like metal rod, and then just have it like glide down almost like a gondola.
Wings of
But then it
Redemption
seems like there
arc
may
is
be
gonna
other
great.
ways to solve things as well. Like there are
Alright.
things that I did more creatively. Like instead of doing a
What's the-
standard platform,
what's the
I made like
arc
a
gonna
different
be?
shaped one that actually made it a little bit more interesting or made it a little bit more easy to build or whatever. Or maybe it was a little bit more stable than the elements that were put right in front of me. An example of this is I came out of a temple and I take that back. I came out of a cave and there was a temple above
starts with
me
super chats
that I needed to do.
Then tips.
All right.
Then Q&A.
And I was like, well, how do I get up there? So I found
I can go
5
with that.
giant trees, chopped them down, stuck them all together, and made this huge
Sounds like too much
long
nonsense for a
bridge
game.
to go up there. So I go up there, and people were like, well, actually, there was like multiple ways to do this. You did one, but you also could have
Phil's not
climbed these
talking to
vines that were
chat.
kind of hidden on the other side, but you could have done this other thing too. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. That basically
I
they
wonder if
present you
Wings would
with
get
just
more views,
do this,
though,
get
after
there,
winning.
and then they kind of toss you and say,
Probably.
do whatever you want. Toss
For a
you to
day
the
or two.
wolves. Figure it out. And there are
Wings will
you know,
probably get more
multiple
views for a
ways
day or two.
to do it. I'm actually really enjoying that part of it, the game, okay? Now, it's not just about the combining of things in the environment to solve puzzles. It's also about combining weapons.
Red-faced
now, this is
droopy eyes.
interesting, but I am a little worried about
Face
this
red
because it seems
droopy
like
eyes.
any weapon you find in the game
Leaned. Oh. somebody got
isn't very
leaned.
good.
This
On
is
its own
sad.
merits, they're all weak. What it seems like is you need to find a weapon and then combine it with another item to make it good.
He's
So,
not
for
talking to
example, you
chat
find a
because you're off
giant
the
long
rails.
bow staff.
How are
well,
they
it's
off the
weak as
rails,
shit,
dude? Nobody
but
wants
it's
to
got
listen to
good
this boring
range.
shit, dude.
So if you find spiky thorns,
This shit's
attach
the
it to the
most
end.
boring
Now
shit
you've got a
you've ever
pointy
heard,
spear,
dude.
and now all of a sudden it's a damaging,
Not even the Dems wanna
long-range
listen
weapon
to
that's
this
really
shit, dude.
useful, right? Or you know, you got a sword. Sword's okay. You attach a rock or a giant boulder to the end of it, and now you've got a giant swinging club that does great damage
Oh, great.
and
What-
stuns
yeah,
things
great.
around
This
you.
is-
It
this
can
is
also
great.
break down stone
Yeah.
walls.
Okay,
so
Phil.
I do
Sure.
like this, but at the same time, it does seem like the entire game will be just
okay, back to
combining
chat.
items together like that, and never will you actually just find something that's good on its own merits. It's all about combine. Even the arrows, like the standard arrows suck.
He said,
they're super duper
hashtag
weak,
not my
and they almost
Zelda.
have no use.
Oh
When
my
you combine
God.
an arrow with a fire plant, now you make a fire bomb. If you combine it with
Wings
an
is
actual real
fast,
bomb, now you
dude.
make an explosive.
He's hitting him
you
with the
see?
1-2, 1-2.
It's neat, but at the same time, is it
Didn't even
Zelda?
have a chance, just
and
got stun
honestly,
locked the whole time.
You know, here's what I can say. Like, there's other elements too. There's 2 more elements. There's one element. It's Is it called Rise?
Well, he looked
where
like
you just
he was
go
in
straight
DayZ,
up and
just
you actually teleport
stun
through
lock.
something that's standing directly above your
couldn't
head.
get his hands up.
And that's
to
fine.
defend himself.
It's an interesting mechanic. And then you've got the time manipulation. I think it's called Rewind. So you can make anything kind of rewind 20, 30 seconds.
Oh, Ice Cube?
What it was doing.
Ice Cube's a DSP
and
fan?
you can use
Damn.
this to maybe jump on a platform that
crazy.
was traveling and go back in time and go back across a chasm or whatever. The elements are nice, but
Derek re-upped his membership.
are they
Nice.
Zelda? I mean, if you look at other Zelda games, there's absolutely these puzzle elements
Derek
that are
sent
part
a
of them.
video.
The hook
He
shot,
submitted a
or
video of
special
his
type
hometown
of arrow,
in Toronto,
right?
Canada.
Or the bomb, or the
Very
super
nice.
bomb, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's always been an element of certain kind of Zelda, but
So we'll get
it
to
seems
see where
like
Derek
from
lives.
the get-go,
That sounds fun.
in this game, literally,
I want a bedroom tour.
all
though.
you're doing is the abilities. Like it seems like they actually abandoned the core elements of
I want
Zelda
a Room Raiders
that used to be
episode with
core
Derek-
Zelda. They're not
Derek.
even in the game. I played 5 hours, and I can't tell you I did anything in the game
You
that
find
felt
like
like
you find like a
classic
bunch of
Zelda
like
at
people
all.
chained up in
You
his
know what I'm
closet.
saying? So, if you like classic Zelda, there's almost none of it in here.
No, I'm not Canadian.
And that's kind of a problem, I feel. There's
I
going to
was
be people
born
who
in
come back to
America,
Zelda after,
unfortunately.
5-6 years. Every time when they make a new iteration. And you're like, oh, this is exciting. We're going back to the classic tropes that we love, the things that we're used to. And with Breath of the Wild, I feel like what they did is they pushed the series in a new modern direction, which they needed to do. Because Zelda games had felt very outdated for a while. Because they weren't really updating
what's
them.
up,
They were just
Sue?
making
My
them the
bad.
same thing over and over.
It's like zoning
And when
out.
you're using outdated tropes, things like required backtracking and stuff like that, it becomes very frustrating and time consuming, right? And then in Breath of the Wild, they kind of undid a lot of that. They made it like open world exploration. They made, you know what I mean? Like, and it was kind of a unique take, a different take on Zelda that pushed it into the
no.
modern era. But now,
No,
in
I
Tears of the
wouldn't say that,
Kingdom,
Phil.
it almost feels like they threw away everything from classic Zelda. It's all now tossed. Now it's all just these new elements. Get used to them because this is the whole.
No, open world started with Ocarina of Time, so. Dude, I don't know what he's talking about half the time. Doesn't make sense. Like he just like says words and they sound okay. They sound okay. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter what they mean. Like
whole game, like them or not, this is what you're doing for the game. And listen, I don't hate the elements. I'm actually enjoying them, and I was actually
you're
nervous
welcome, Rick Sanchez.
watching
Somebody's
some of
gotta
the
call
gameplay
this
that
fool on
was
his bullshit, yeah.
revealed by Nintendo early on of this game, because I was like, man, if this is really the whole game, it might not feel good. Honestly, 5 hours in, and we're going to talk a little bit more because we did get out of the tutorial area and got to the open world, and we'll talk about that in a second. But
Bro,
5
you've
hours in,
played it.
I
That's
think
what
I've
kills
enjoyed
me.
everything
You
I've done in the
know
game.
this, Phil.
I really
You
do
know
think
this
I have.
shit.
We did
He
4
doesn't
mini
care.
temples, which are the same as those temples that were in the original Breath of the Wild, where there's just like short, like challenges of platforming or using the puzzle elements of the game to traverse and or make progress. So I like those. Okay.
Yeah.
And I did like the
I'd
whole
argue
first
since-
environment is a giant floating island.
since, Link
that
to
has
the
all
Past,
these different things
bro.
to it. You know, you got different
Link to
elevations.
the Past
you
was
can figure out how
open
to get to
world.
different
Wasn't it?
climates. You have to start cooking the food,
Bro,
and using the
most
food to
Zelda
warm
games
yourself
are
so you
open
don't
world.
freeze and stuff like that. This is all stuff from the first game, but it's a
Like-
good way to introduce you back into this environment. If you haven't, especially me, I only played Breath of the Wild once 6 years ago, so this is a good way to kind of reintroduce you to all of these elements. Okay. And I'm really enjoying it so far. But
you owe me a Coke, son. You owe me a Coke.
no bosses. In fact, no even significant enemy fights. So far, you're just fighting very generic enemies. The combat actually feels like it may be the weak point of the game. You know, the traversal, the puzzles, the actual world exploration all seem good and seem fun. But the combat may actually be the worst part. It's very wonky. Like, you lock on with left trigger, and you jump around to dodge, which isn't very effective, honestly. And mostly it's just kind of mashing at this point. Now, maybe it'll get more effective as you get better weapons or whatever. Right now, it's literally mash, mash, mash. And that's the combat. It's like, that's kind of boring.
King Crimson
You know, and even
says,
in other
has he
Zelda
been
games, in
drinking?
Skyward Sword, it had an element of
Yes.
aiming when you attack
Yes, he
and
has, King
slash.
Crimson.
And it seems like maybe that's not even in this at this point. Like, basically, they turned it into a mash fest, and now all the focus will be on puzzles. All right? And that actually is something that I was a little nervous about. If you remember, I said, if this becomes just 100% about these building or combining elements.
This isn't
will
a
it feel like
podcast,
Zelda?
it's a Zelda review.
So here's what I have to say. So far, and we're not talking about the open world yet because we got to that, and I'll talk about that in a moment. For the
What's
intro
up, Jerry?
segment, which is about 4 hours long, interesting graphics, not bad but not good. Awesome and interesting puzzle and gameplay elements. Great world design and exploration. I like the temples, and the story so far is good, but I don't think I'm playing Zelda. Like, I think that might be an issue.
What?
For those who like Zelda, I don't think the game plays like Zelda at all. I don't feel like this is Zelda.
It doesn't matter.
I feel like this is
because it
a
is Zelda.
new game franchise that Nintendo
This take
is now,
doesn't matter.
Attempting
This isn't a real take.
to push to the forefront.
Oh,
and
so
they've abandoned all their old things that used to make Zelda great.
So Zelda
And,
2
are you
isn't
okay with
Zelda?
that? I mean,
Just because it's a different
if you are,
style?
then that's
No,
great.
it's still Zelda.
But I think there are going to be some people who may play it and like, I don't. What happened? Like, why does it not? Where are the classic Zelda things? There's even enemies here. Like, there's an enemy called a like. Yes, the name of the enemy is actually a like. What is it? It's a big worm. And in classic Zelda, this enemy existed. I remember the stupid enemy called like because it's the stupidest name ever. All right, so it's in the game, but does it have anything to do with like Zelda gameplay? Not really. You have to wait for it to have a weak point in the face, shoot it with an arrow, then another weak point is exposed, shoot it with another arrow, run up, beat the shit out of its weak point with a sword, back up, wait again for the weak point to be exposed. It doesn't feel like Zelda at all. Really, it doesn't.
Hey, you know what fight that reminds me of? That fight in Ocarina when you fight the spider. Remember when you fight? That's like the first boss fight in the tree. Sounds exactly the same, right? Sounds just like Zelda, to me. Yeah, you hit it a bunch of times, it goes down, then you got to hit the weak point with a sword. Damn. And Ocarina of Time is, one of the most timeless Zelda. I mean, you can't get any more Zelda than Ocarina. That's crazy. Phil is actually like there's nothing up there, dude. It's mush. It's literal like he doesn't. It's like Hogan, dollar bill, Hogan. That's it. Like everything else is just like made up words that don't mean anything and don't have any real value, that are just strung together to sound like a sentence.
It's like they really were going for something different.
It's not like Zelda. You literally just described Zelda, dude.
After 4 hours of tutorial, yes, it takes 4 hours to get through the intro tutorial in the floating island.
That's actually insane.
You finally
dude.
jump down to the overworld of the game, which is the planet surface. And when you get there, immediately you're like, I feel at home. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you start looking around and you're like, okay, I look over here and I can see a temple that's glowing. Mark it on the map so I can go do it. You look over here. Oh, cool. There's a landmark out in the distance that looks really neat. You know we're going to get there at some point during the game and figure out what that is. Oh, look over here. We got a castle in the background. There's a tower to explore. Here's this, here's that. Enemies in the environment. And that's neat. Because, again, you feel like you're playing classic Zelda. Or at least not classic, but at least you feel like some kind of a tie to old Zelda when you hit the overworld and it feels like Breath of the Wild again. Okay? So at least in that regard, you got some ties to the older Zelda gameplay. All right? And I did enjoy that. We only played the overworld, I'd say, for maybe 30 minutes. We ran out of time. Last night on the late stream, I didn't do as much as I would have liked. I think we did 2 optional dungeons, which only take like 10-15 minutes each. And then we did like 1 tower.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
And which we found those Korok creatures, the little creatures that are like made of plants.
I don't even want to watch
leaves,
the recording.
Those are back, and they're all hidden with puzzles. And when you solve a puzzle, the Korok will give you a Korok seed, and people are saying I guess you could trade those in for upgrades or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Some people said you could trade it in for some kind of a stat upgrade or something. Or was it inventory space? I think that's actually what it was. People were saying you could trade those in to get more inventory slots. So now you're not limited to only having a certain amount of items in your inventory or something like that. Okay?
Yo, people are begging Jinx and chat to give them memberships on DSP Reacts.
After exploring the open world for about 30-40 minutes, I was having a good time when we ran out of time.
Cesspool, dude.
And I think that's going to be what the hook of this game is, just like Breath of the Wild. Is it necessarily the story that hooks you? No. Is it necessarily the dungeons that hook you?
Jinx, donate some cash again, bro.
It really is the open world. How much content
bless
there
us
is in the
over
open
on DSP
world.
Reacts,
The interesting aspect of exploring. What's over there? What's that in the distance? What's this? What's that? Right? All of that stuff seems interesting. And that's what hooks you. And I'm excited to jump into it tonight, because when I play it tonight, that's exactly what we're doing. Like, literally, that's what we're doing, because we're going to the open world and trying to jump in, head first and seeing what we can discover. I might not even do story tonight, although it was recommended to me. If you advance the plot line, at least a couple story missions, you get the paraglider, which is essential for getting around for traversal.
Sorry,
so
I'm
maybe
late.
we should just
Had to
focus
catch up
on the story tonight
the
to try
late
to get
stream
through that.
videos
Then
on
once we get
demand.
the paraglider, then feel free to start exploring even further, right? So, yeah, that's what I think. I think tonight should be a fun stream. Now, what I'm curious about is what you guys think. All right,
Dead Space
because
and Zelda
I would
are
like to
basically
give
the
you
same
some
game.
perspective here. First of all, the
Not
streams
quite.
yesterday did pretty good. The first stream we started off with like 400 to 500 viewers. By the end, it tapered off to just under 400, which is expected because we got to take a break in there. Second stream, late stream, did
Yeah, if
pretty
he
good.
sees it, he'll
I'd say
say
I had around
something
300
probably.
or so viewers. That's not bad for a late night stream. Okay, but all things must be put into a proper perspective. Okay, so what I mean by that is what we really got to do to see how
Phil,
stuff's
maybe it's the
performing
constant Nintendo
is
hate,
taking a
dude.
look overall at
Maybe you should listen to your
the
chat.
video performance overnight. And if I take a look at these Zelda videos from overnight, all right, part 1 has 1,600 views, and all the other parts have around 500 views out of 5 parts, 5 hours.
Damn.
Now, that's not even 24 hours these videos have been live on
That's
the
pretty
internet.
abysmal.
So it's definitely not something to judge by yet. But I can outright
really?
tell you, all right, that when I played like Resident Evil 4 Remake, when I played
Phil,
Dead
you get
Space
most of the
Remake, even
views
when I
within
played
the
Hogwarts
first,
Legacy,
like,
those games
were
getting way
12 hours or
more
so.
attention than my Zelda playthrough is right now. Okay? And quite frankly, I'll be honest, I think my Zelda playthrough is good. There's some really funny moments of there of me kind of messing around and screwing up. I think the commentary is pretty good. Like, it's not like I'm not liking the game or I'm bored by it. I'm having a good time with it. I had great interaction with the audience. I do feel like it's a strong playthrough at this point. But I told you guys something.
Yeah, but it's
I
not
absolutely
supported.
told you guys something.
It has to be. There needs to be buy-in.
About a week ago. I said, I remember when I was playing Breath of the Wild, okay? And here's the deal, all right? People don't come to DSP Gaming for Nintendo games. I know that's sad, because I think Nintendo games are some of the best out there. I particularly love the first-party Nintendo titles like Mario, Metroid, Kirby, Zelda, Donkey Kong.
Jinx
or Donkey Kong
charging
Country,
the
I guess you
tip
could say.
like a spirit
Pokemon,
bomb.
right?
Let's go.
And that's just a few off the top of my head. I think these are outstanding games. I really feel that way, okay?
Oh, Jinx has arrived. And Jinx just got here.
I think that there's already,
Jinx is carrying.
sadly, big established gamers on YouTube who play Nintendo games. And most people who are seeking this out are going to find that before me. You know what I'm saying? Now, also, what you got to understand is this game leaked a week or two ago. So a lot of people who were interested in the game already kind of saw it or played it themselves already for free. Because the game leaked, Nintendo really effed that up. They really did. I don't know what they were thinking there. And they really screwed the pooch. So, am I shocked that this game, at least within the first 12 to 15, 16 hours here
Said,
of
Phil,
being
what are you
uploaded,
muttering?
isn't doing amazingly on DSP Gaming?
Bro,
No,
trolls
I'm not.
are out today.
I'm not shocked.
Damn.
But, really what's going to happen is, we need to
Socks
judge long-term
are,
how it's going to do. And a lot of this is going to be based on stream performance.
Somebody
Okay?
just
Can
opened
I
a
be
fresh
honest?
pack of
The last
socks
2
or
days,
something.
we've had a very generous individual who's been coming to stream and basically supporting the streams in a crazy way. Like over-the-top levels of support. All right? 4 straight streams, we hit all of our goals. That's insane.
Harvey
right?
Dent Sr.
But that's not going to last
Yo.
forever. In fact, I don't even think that they're here today. So when that's not happening, right? Are people going to show up and support the Zelda streams? Or is it going to be like what seems to happen with every single Nintendo game I play? People seem gung-ho for me to play it, and then once I start playing it, oh, this is boring. Oh, I wish you played something else.
Yeah,
it's just another Nintendo game. I really feel like my viewers, sadly, are kind of biased against Nintendo. I don't know why, because I'm the opposite. I like first-party Nintendo games. Am I critical of Nintendo and their bad business choices? Yes, I am. And I absolutely feel that there is a rabid fanboy group of people who literally blindly defend Nintendo no matter what they do. And I think that's stupid and bad for the gaming community. You should not reward bad behavior, but that's what they always do. Whenever Nintendo does something stupid, they reward it as if it's a good choice, okay? And I think that's really dumb. But at the same time...
We've got too many Nintendo rants, Phil. We don't need another
I like
one.
Nintendo. And so I'm playing the games, and I thought yesterday was a really great day of Zelda streaming. I would hope that if people got that impression, they'll come back tonight. Okay?
I like Nintendo.
But it seems like whenever I play Nintendo, there's just this really like negative stigma. People are like, I don't like Nintendo. Nintendo are kiddie games, and this is never going to be a good game no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So I guess what really will be the test here is tonight on the late stream, right? We're going to play it again, and will people show up? Will people support? Will people engage? Or is this going to be a game that after a couple streams already is kind of dead? I'm very curious about that, honestly, because I can tell you right now, Elden Ring still going strong.
Just gave,
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, despite the fact the game is unpolished and messy, people still show up.
Was it worth it, bro? Was it worth it to give
those streams as well?
Give Phil $1 for that? Really?
What's going to happen with Zelda? That's a good question.
I mean, he's probably only going to get like 60 cents, but
Zelda is going to be an 80-hour playthrough, and if you actually take a look,
you could have just said that in chat.
The last Zelda playthrough, Breath of the Wild. It was 194 parts long.
Spammed for like a minute.
And back then, I was basically doing playthroughs that were half an hour parts 6 years ago. So if you do the math roughly, okay, that means, yeah, my playthrough clocked in around like 85 hours. That's accurate. Now, keep in mind, I did a lot of the side content. I was doing all the dragons I was chasing. I was trying to explore all the optional content and dungeons and things in the environment. It wasn't just me doing the main plot or anything like that, right? It was definitely me focusing in on all the content that the game had to offer.
Like you can't charge super chats back. So
I guess the question is, what will happen?
That's just guaranteed money for Phil.
Will people want more of it? Will people want as more daytime streams? Will people support the streams, or is it going to be, well, we saw the beginning, and now it's boring, so now we just complain constantly. Phil should be playing another game. I hope not. So far, I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to more tonight. I'm actually legitimately looking forward to it, and I didn't know if I would. I was skeptical at first about Zelda. I was thinking maybe it wasn't going to be as good of a game because of what I've seen previously. But I'm enjoying the gameplay elements.
Because I was about to call you out.
And the open world is always really kind of addicting.
Because you couldn't stop complaining for like the longest time yesterday.
I hope you guys will join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, and I hope you'll continue to join me this week. The main stream on Monday is also Zelda 3 more hours. And then, again, Tuesday, the mainstream is in your hands. You're going to be voting on what you want to see Tuesday. You have the ability to pick Zelda if you want. So let's see what happens. All right, let's see and go from there. But I'm feeling good. Initial impressions are that it's really good. I'm enjoying myself. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed the first 5 hours. Give it a look. It's on demand here on DSP Gaming if you get the chance. If you haven't yet, it's good content. Like I said, I actually was having fun. Razzing the plot a little bit, doing some commentary, laughing at my mistakes, and it was good. I had a good time with it. So I hope that you guys will give it a look, and again, join me tonight if you can. Okay?
What did you spend, like $1,000 last night? On Champions?
So there we go. Initial impressions of Tears of the Kingdom. Thumbs up. Enjoying myself.
Drop an easy 1K on Vince McMahon.
Jade, what's going on? He says, my allergies are bugging me today, and I love Zelda. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you'll be here tonight for Zelda then, to chill with me. Sorry to hear about your allergies, though. I'm sure my allergies likely will start bothering me as well. Although, because we have the air conditioners pumping right now.
Yeah, Vince McMahon is eating good tonight.
Our weather is so hot. In fact, I believe it's supposed to be crazy hot for 7 days. I'm not even kidding. Today it's 84, tomorrow 88, Monday 88, Tuesday 79, Wednesday 81, Thursday 86, Friday 82, Saturday 81.
That's not even
Are you
hot.
kidding me?
What do you? That's not.
We're
hot.
gonna have a
80?
week straight of unseasonably warm weather. So I need these air conditioners pumping, and because of that,
80, I mean, 80
it's filtering
is warm,
all the air in
like,
the house. Every air conditioner, and we
hot.
bought really high quality filters for our furnace, which we have running on just the cooling air to circulate all the air conditioning.
For like
so
10
hopefully
years.
we are getting enough of the freaking pollen out of the air. It's not going to bother me, but I guess we'll see.
10 years was
if so, I have to
115.
start taking allergy pills. And I know someone just said, dude, it's not even July. You're absolutely right. It's not even freaking July. July is typically when we get hot weather. It's freaking May. Mid-May, and we're getting it already this year. This is going to be a bad year for the weather. I get the feeling it's going to be a melting summer, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe that the fucking glue melted.
No, I don't have an air purifier, but I'm
thinking
thinking of getting one just for this office.
You said the glue melted on something and it fell
room,
off the wall?
And it probably would make sense, especially if I'm going to need to have the air conditioner pumping as much as we have. You know, I think I definitely might need an air purifier at some point. I have to look into them, though. I haven't had an air purifier in over a decade. Yeah. And I have a cat. Exactly. I have a cat. Cat is cat
common
dander.
nonsense.
Right.
He also said cats can't handle heat.
Okay.
Bro, what about lions though?
So guys, thank you for listening to my evaluation of Zelda so far. I hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. And now it is time for us. We don't have any like you know, game industry news or anything like that to talk about today. So instead, we're just gonna jump right into shout outs. Start doing some questions and stuff like that, all right? So our first YouTube side contribution of today is from Bloom Kit, who does a super chat. He says, it is Zelda, because Zelda can now be anything.
Okay, here's the money segment, everybody.
I don't know if I like that argument, Bloom Cat, to be honest. Like, ultimately, that's like saying, oh, well, you see, Street Fighter 6, it's still Street Fighter 6 because Street Fighter 6 can be anything. By the way, Street Fighter 6 is now a first-person shooter where you shoot Shadowloo soldiers. Huh? Well, then is it really Street Fighter 6? Because if you throw away all of the gameplay elements and the things that made this a coherent franchise or IP up to this point, and you completely change it into something different, can you argue that it's the same? I don't know if you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is one of the major problems that people have with Resident Evil 5 and 6.
You know why you can do that? You know why they can do that, Phil? Because they own the IP. They own the IP. They could turn Street Fighter into a friggin' gacha pachinko anime. Just like Metal Gear Solid. Is pachinko is Metal Gear Solid pachinko not Metal Gear Solid? No, it is. It is. It's the IP. It's right there.
They said Resident Evil 6 it's not even a horror game anymore. There's nothing scary. Instead,
Metal Gear.
It's just a third-person action shooter with some horror elements, but it's just an action game now. And because of that, you've run the series into the ground. You really ruined it, and you know, we don't like it. And people revolted against Capcom. And then what ended up happening was Resident Evil 7, they completely rebooted things back to being survival horror.
Is a Resident Evil
right?
Pinball machine?
So when you say to me, well, Zelda can be anything.
Evil?
I mean, technically you're right. Nintendo can do whatever they want with their own franchise. I'm pretty sure it's still
Resident Evil.
But you understand that this is a long-running series from the 1980s.
It's just a pinball machine.
Still to this day a major force in gaming. And people are looking for certain established gameplay elements to make the series coherent and feel like you're playing the same series of games. I'll be honest, so far I've not really seen that in Tears of the Kingdom. The only thing that's coherent is the open world. When you hit it, feels like Breath of the Wild. But that's the last Zelda game, and that's the one that veered from the beaten path of previous Zeldas. You see what I'm saying? The combat doesn't feel anything like Zelda at this point.
He's like saying
it doesn't. It just feels like a mash.
He's just saying like it's not what it is.
So I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, moving in, maybe it'll get more complex. Maybe it'll be better weapons.
I get what he's trying to say.
But for the most part, right now, it feels like a great game, but it doesn't feel like Zelda.
Okay, it doesn't feel.
And some people might like that, and some people might not.
That makes sense, Phil.
I'm kind of on the fence right now.
It doesn't feel like Zelda.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling it yet.
But it is Zelda. Let's just be clear on this.
Derek is here today,
okay,
and he's celebrating his 9-month re-upping of his membership thanks to a gift. And he says, I sent a tourism video of my hometown in Toronto. I saw it. It is in the playlist. Although, admittedly, Derek, I'm not sure how far down the playlist it is. We can see here.
Yeah, it's insane how he has to be in the middle of everything. I'm like, Phil,
it's the 28th video.
You can't be in the middle all the time.
53.
You just can't be indifferent to everything.
We might get to it.
You have to pick something,
I guess it all depends on how far we get. It is in there, though. It is in the running. And it's not at the tail end. It's about the middle. All right? So I see if we'll get to it or not. That would be nice. A tourism video, especially for a place that I'm not familiar with, that I'm not familiar with Toronto at all. That would be pretty nice, I think. To kind of skim through and learn about the city. Okay. So thank you there. Tam has done a super chat and says, When will I lose my baby teeth? I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't know what the hell that means. Sunglasses did a super chat and says,
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't watch your streams because I have to work all day.
I
so
hate
please
them
take
for
this.
like
Well, thank you very much, Sunglasses.
giving them money, but
sorry to hear that you get stuck
that
at
was
work all
funny,
day like
dude.
a lot of people. But
That
I'm
was
glad to
actually
hear that you
funny.
still enjoy my content, obviously.
that was a funny troll.
Probably on demand, right, after the fact. And thank you for the super chat. That is very much appreciated that you at least
When
dropped
will I
by and,
lose my
and you dropped
baby
that. Thank you
teeth?
so much.
Wow.
Corrupted Covenant has re-upped their membership for 15 months. Okay, I wanted to make sure it was not considered a new membership. So
You read that,
thank
dude.
you
I
very
can't
much
believe
to
you read
Corrupted
that.
Covenant for the re-upping of your membership. Very good. Now, we will swing
he's so
over.
dumb that he can't even like see.
See you later,
troll when it's
Sunglasses.
hitting
You have
him
to
in
take
the
off.
face.
Have a good one. Thank you. See you later, Sunglasses. Thanks for stopping by. Kagome, I'll see you over on DSP React. Sounds good. Okay. All right. Let us now do shout outs for tips. Okay? So, first of all, we start off today with an overnight tip from our buddy Game Trekker.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Game Trekker, for starting us off strong this morning with an overnight $30 tip. Let's get Game Trekker on the leaderboard and let's see what he has to say this week.
Anybody over the age of 16 that watches him,
Game Trekker has been an adamant and consistent supporter of my React content ever since I launched DSP Reacts several months ago.
they might
I'm very
be
happy to have him on the stream. Let's see what he has to say today.
they might be an adult, but they have the mind of a child.
So, I have some Street Fighter 6 info for you this week, okay? As you know, classic controls will retain the old 3 punches, 3 kicks with motions for specials control scheme. Right, that's the classic, how Street Fighter always was played competitively in arcades. With modern controls, the buttons will be light, medium, heavy, then a special button, a throw
Adamant,
button,
yes.
a drive parry button, and a drive impact button. So, to explain what that means, usually there's 3 punch buttons, 3 kick buttons, all light through heavy, light through heavy.
Drive impact.
He's saying
We
there's
hate
only going to
that.
be 3
Right,
attacks,
Phil?
light, medium, heavy. So I guess the game will determine
We hate drive
what
impact.
each one is. And I guess what happens is if you push a direction in one of those buttons, it'll give you a variation on that. Okay. The throw, typically
Look, it's
throwing
not Street
is a certain
Fighter
button
because
combination, but I guess it's going to be
there's
just
drive
one button
impact.
now. And probably if you do a motion with it, it'll do like a special throw, I'm guessing. Special move. So that means there's a button that will just do a special move if you just push it. No input needed, like no motion needed. So instead of doing forward, down, down, forward punch to do a Shoryuken with Ryu, you can just press like forward and special. It'll do a Shoryuken. Okay? It's basically a huge input shortcut. Drive parry. This is the new ability where when someone is coming at you, as long as you have your drive meter, which is one of the special move meters in the game, filled or have enough, you can parry their move, which means you kind of block it without taking damage, and then you can have an opportunity to do a reversal or counter hit after. And then drive impact, this is the other new move where essentially you start doing a big super armor animation. So you can absorb a couple hits and you start doing this big flowing colorful animation. It takes about a couple seconds to charge, but once it charges, if it hits the enemy, it completely interrupts what they're doing and it forces them to crumple, meaning they crumple over and they're stunned, and now you can do a giant combo afterward. All right. So
I was
basically,
only
saying
born with
all
2
these
wisdom teeth.
things that used
Like,
to be
evolved.
specific button inputs are now just one button touches. Okay, that's with the modern input scheme. This literally cuts out a ton of normals, right? I mean, if each character normally would have 6 buttons,
none.
and each button is a normal, and each direction is a different normal, but now you only have 3 buttons, you're immediately cutting out half your normals at least. Okay? And often multiple specials for every character. Supers are now performed by pressing the heavy and special button together. Got a stupid
Yeah,
pop-up.
most people have
Yeah, supers are now
4.
performed by pressing the heavy and special button together, but they now deal 20% less
But it makes
damage.
sense that
That's interesting. So you can do a move more easily, but you
get
deal less
evolved
damage.
out
Capcom
since
representatives
we just
are
pull
saying
them
the
all.
plan is that they
Eventually
want
we'll
modern
probably just
controls
start
to
not
be
having them at
legal
all.
in tournament. Simply pressing a direction and a button to execute a special move clearly will provide an edge with reaction time, but will that outweigh losing such a huge chunk of a character's utility and damage?
Forced evolution.
And basically he has a comment here. He says, well, combo routes will be very suboptimal with missing normals. Imagine you have a character who has a really great combo, and it's like medium punch, low heavy punch, special super. But because you're using the modern controls, you can't do that, right? And that's interesting to me. All right, so I guess the question is,
it's so funny when Phil can't think of what to say.
For ease of use,
he's just
for
like,
the fact
that's
that
interesting.
You don't need to essentially practice and have muscle memory and do all of that
Phil.
stuff, right? Is it a trade-off to do less damage, deal less damage, and have less optimal things to do?
It's got
like the way I see it is, you're gonna have people who don't have as much skill when it comes to actual execution, but at the same time, if they have the optimal way to play the game, like if they have a pattern that's almost unbeatable because they can do instant special moves, is that better? I don't know. I guess this is the first time we've ever seen something like this in a fighting game where it might be competitive, meaning, yes, there have been input shortcuts before, yes, there's been easy mode controls before, but it's never been allowed in modern fighting games for competitive purposes. Meaning if you went to a tournament, they wouldn't allow that. You have to use classic controls.
Is this going to be the last topic of the
I don't know. The way I see it is, we have to test it. I think this has to be something that's tested. For me, I'll be honest, I'm very happy I'm not heavily into the competitive scene. Because if I were planning on saying entering the Capcom Pro Tour or something, I wouldn't even know how to approach this. Do you play with the classic controls where you know you have full range of control of your character in every situation and you can get the optimal combos, the optimal damage output? Or do you go for modern controls where it's easier to play, you have better reactions, but you're going to have less damage and less options, right? Like, man, I don't know. It's an interesting trade-off, and we've never seen anything like that before in Street Fighter at all. So at this point, I think it's a wait-and-see attitude, right? Like, would I ever play modern controls? Maybe I would. Despite you have to understand something. Playing games online adds so much lag. And you may not even see it when you're watching someone play online, but you have to understand. When you just do this, touch the button, the button doesn't react right away. There's so much delay, and that could completely change the face of the game. Maybe the modern controls will help to eliminate some of that, right? Maybe I would try modern controls, and maybe it would be cheap as hell. I don't know. I guess we'll see, but
dude, I'm lost, dude.
The fact that they're claiming it's going to be a lot of competitive plays is interesting.
He's talking about some type of controls that are not.
He continues. Many pro players are already expressing doubt that the modern controls would be competitively viable. So hopefully this is all shaping up the way it needs to.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a unique situation for Street Fighter. Never been in this situation before because Street Fighter's never gone the modern control route. I'm happy that it's in there for accessibility purposes. For
Meerkat Mob? Yo,
and if people want to experiment with this for competitive purposes, go for it. If Capcom's allowing it, you can't blame them. But I would hope that it doesn't destroy Street Fighter. And what I mean by that is there has always been a required entry level of skill to play fighting games competitively. All right? Now, I understand if you want to sell your fighting game to the masses. You want to have as many people buy it as possible and enjoy it. I'm okay with modern controls for that. But if you're telling me that now you're going to completely delete the skill requirement for people to play a game at a competitive tournament level, I don't know how I feel about that, right? I grew up in arcades playing games that were hard to control on arcade cabinets. So now you're saying delete that requirement. Make it super easy. Make every game play like Smash Brothers. It's essentially what it is. Every game will become Smash Brothers now, right?
Nah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I guess I'd have to see it in action. I would have to see how it's implemented, how it plays in action. I'll probably be starting with classic controls and trying to play the game like that.
They're not banned yet.
But at the same time, I'm likely going to maybe eventually try the modern controls and just see the difference, right? Like, for example, if I try to play with Zangief and I keep missing doing my 360 throw over and over, but if I can do modern controls and literally just press a button to execute the 360 and I get it every time, who cares if I get slightly less damage? It's hitting every time. So what if I have to hit the guy one extra time? At least the move's fucking coming out, right? So it might work. I don't know. This is gonna be a very interesting month, June. Me playing Street Fighter 6, trying different things. It's gonna be a really interesting month to say the least. And this is one of the big elements of that. So thank you, Game Trekker. That was great food for thought. As we lead into Street Fighter 6 next month.
Well, that was a fucking terrible rant, dude.
Okay.
A terrible rant, Phil.
Drawing Things says some pros already said they are going to use modern controls for competitive play. I don't see why they wouldn't, right? Okay. All right. So I received a $2 tip, and this one is from Big Papa Pump. And actually, in reality, he sent me two $2 tips. All right, they were each $2 each.
Big Papa Pump.
So thank you for that, Big Papa Pump. I appreciate your support. And let's get them both added because they were two individual $2 tips. Thank you. Okay. Continuing on here. I received a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. And that is big enough to actually do an animation. So thank you very much.
Oh.
To Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. That gets us the $39 in tips.
I know that's not the real Snow Carl because the real Snow Carl only tips in dollar increments.
Okay. Continuing on. I got an anonymous $1.04 tip. Thank you to the anonymous tipper. That will get us up to $40 in tips already. Thank you for a great start. All right. Continuing on.
And we're just racking
I received
up the
another $2
bills.
from Big Papa
Booyah.
Pump. He says,
We're racking
it's
up the
weird
money,
weather
dude.
over here, too. For a while, the last year or so, the world weather really seems to be doing weird stuff. It's not weird stuff. The world weather does this over time. If you actually study patterns of world weather, all right, it's not consistent. It's not. It does stay stagnant for certain periods of time, and then it changes. This is a natural thing that happens on the planet. It's a naturally occurring greenhouse effect. The thing is, what's happened is humans being on this planet and doing things with fossil fuels and other things have accelerated the effect. It's the natural thing that happens, only it's happening at a faster rate than it usually would. All right? So instead of having hundreds of years to notice a change in climate, we're noticing it in 30 years. You see the difference? So, yeah, this is something that just happens. We're going to have warmer weather, and we're going to have to deal with it, with this greenhouse effect, and eventually, you know, it's going to flip again.
I'm going to let you finish.
Ice caps melting, sea levels changing.
Yep.
This is natural stuff on planet Earth.
Yep.
It's not like a giant, shocking situation. But some people think it is. All right? Now, I'm not saying the things we're doing to accelerate it are good at all. There's definitely things that we could probably be doing to stop it, or at least slow it. Because we have accelerated it to the point where it's out of control. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about climate change all day. All right? And argue about it because there's so many people who are contentious about this. I mean, yeah, when I was younger, the weather was very different. Now I'm 41 years old, and the weather has changed completely.
Agreed.
I mean, in the 9 years I've lived here, all right? The first year I moved here, all right? It was July when it got really warm, all right? And in the years that I've been here, now it gets warmer earlier every freaking year. Now it's summertime on May 13th. It's summer weather here in May. We're a month away from summer, and it's summer. How long will this last? Will this last all the way into October this year? Thank God I have air conditioning. You know, but outside of that, you know, it's annoying. Yeah, things change. And even my parents have said since I left Connecticut, right? They said the weather there is atrocious. They get literally the worst of the worst of the worst. And it just gets worse every year.
They should leave. They should go somewhere else.
Anyway,
so, yeah. I mean, yeah, Phil's a weatherman now. Weatherman Phil. Weatherman Phil. Yeah, that's a terrible take, dude. Like, it's a natural thing that we're polluting the earth. And the weather's changing. That's a natural normal. That's a natural thing that happens like every so often, right, Phil? It blows my mind, dude. Phil has blown my mind today.
thank you for the tip. Another tip has come in.
I'm blown away.
From sock account 472.
Phil, how do
it says,
you...
have a great day. Now, here's the funny part.
How do you know
that
so much,
account,
Phil?
sock account 472 in the chat, has been saying that's not them. So, sock account, is this you or is this someone impersonating you again?
Oh,
it might be someone impersonating you again.
Phil, you're...
Is it?
Phil, you're
Can you confirm or deny?
Oh, dude, he's buying
that's
into the troll.
That's not you. Okay. I'm going to say this.
Phil, you're buying into the troll.
Impersonation is not cool. It might be funny. You might think, I'm going to do a tip and I'm going to use someone else's name. Now, please don't. And here's why. It just leads to problems, right? God forbid someone tips something and say something that someone else, oh, now you see what that guy said or this guy said.
What's up, AC?
Oh, now this person contributed and now let's go harass them for doing this or that. So let's not do that, all right? If you're going to contribute, please, thank you. Thank you so much for contributing to my content. But please, 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 don't impersonate someone else. I don't want to have to shut down certain people from contributing,
Phil.
but at the same time, I can't have people trying to, cause drama and problems. So please stop about that. All right? Okay, thank you.
Don't you
Thank you for
understand
understanding.
that that's the joke?
Moving
Phil?
on.
It's soft
Alright, so another
number
tip.
4 or 5, whatever. It is supposed to be impersonating something, dude. It's just.
Oh, this is interesting. James has tipped me $3.12, and he says the following. Listen to this. Thank you for not being a sellout and putting stuff like VPNs and Raid Shadow Legends in your videos. Yeah, I, over the years,
Still needs a fucking VPN.
was offered those. Just like you probably noticed a bunch of YouTube content creators who have advertised VPNs or Raid Shadow Legends or something similar. I was offered those. And I always turn them down.
No.
I do not accept those kinds of sponsorships because I feel like it's detrimental to my content. To me, to sit here and shill a product to you is not honest, and it kind of goes against everything I stand for, right? It'd be one thing if there was a product that I regularly used. I'll give you an example, all right? What if
you
Hori
didn't
contacted
beg?
me, and Hori said, hey, Phil, we noticed that you use
Hey, Phil.
our wireless neck phones in your streams every single day. And we have an opportunity for you. We like you to advertise our wireless neck phones since it seems like you like the product. Would you consider
wish, dude.
advertising and doing a product placement?
You wish.
To which I would say, well, let me think about this. It's a product I use every day. It's a product I stand by. It's a product that
A lot.
I would recommend to people who have health problems like me with their ears.
He has to say this
yes,
a lot.
I would accept a sponsorship like that. There would be no reason not to because it's an honest sponsorship, okay? But the sponsorships you guys see on YouTube are not honest. This is products and shit that these people don't stand by. The reason that they're
Appreciate
doing it
that.
is to take a paycheck. They're just taking a payment to push a product that they don't use or stand by at all. Even though they claim that they do, it's because they're doing it for the sake of making the money, okay? So that's what I mean. Like, oh my God, what if we want you to push our seltzer? You literally drink our seltzer every day on your main stream. Yeah, I like your seltzer. I would advertise that. I think it's a healthy alternative to drinking soda or something that has calories and sugar in it. It hydrates you. I like the carbonation in it rather than it just being flat soda. I like carbonation. Like, there's many things in there that make that a viable alternative to drinking more unhealthy things. I would advertise that. Why wouldn't I? Right? But I'm not going to sit here and take these sponsorships for things that are crap. And those are the ones, by the way, that you get. Like, literally, you wouldn't get an advertisement campaign for that seltzer. You would get it for a piece of crap that no one wants, but you got to shove it down someone's throat. You see? Why else do you think they're paying for the advertisement campaign to begin with? Right? So that's the stuff I'm not going to do. And I used to get them all the time. Today, I don't even know. You want to know why? Because today, there are so many fakers out there. People who are trying to impersonate companies, and they claim that they have advertisement opportunities for you. And 9 times out of 10, they're actually fake. What they try to do is they try to get you to open a file, and that file is actually a virus. And what it does is it looks like it's here's some of our PR materials. Open this and click on it. And when you click on it, next thing you know, that fucker's in your computer. And now they can keylog you, and they can find out all this information. They can even take control of your computer remotely to do shit.
He sounds
and this has been
paranoid
happening a
as
lot.
fuck
That's
right
how
now.
they got into Linus Tech Tips. Because they thought it was a promotional opportunity. It looked legit. They opened a file.
Yeah,
that was it.
Is
the
that how
whole
it happened,
system's
Phil?
under their control now.
Is that a Linus?
So
Linus
these happen
Tech
all the
Tips
time.
fell for the old.
You know, everyone gets them, including
open the
me. Yes,
file.
I get them. Everyone gets
Damn.
these fakers.
That's crazy.
So it's really hard to even tell what's real and what's
Can't
fake
believe you
these
fell
days
for that shit.
when it comes to these opportunities. So I couldn't even tell you if I get something real or not. At this point, but I know in the past I've gotten these. I literally got one directly from the PR company that works with Raid Shadow Legends, and they contacted me and said, Would you be interested? And I said, well, I'm just curious, what's
Oh, wait,
the game?
now we're
just so you
going
know,
back.
yes, it is Raid Shadow Legends. And
We're
just listen to
transitioning
that. That's
back,
what he
hold
actually
on.
said in his email. Just so you know, yes, it actually is Raid Shadow Legends. Like, so it's the one that everyone already advertises, everyone groans at, and says the game sucks. And it's the one, you know, you're embarrassed to fucking to do it, but you need the money, right? So, no, I'm not going to take it, you know?
Yeah, but you need the money, Phil. And you know, you can stop begging. And you can stop begging, Phil. We've been over this 100 times.
So,
we can't do it
you are
again,
welcome,
dude.
James. Thank you for the tip.
You know?
Continuing on.
How many times have we heard this one?
Dan the Man has gifted a membership, and I believe it has gone to Zen Shuriken. So congratulations,
What's
Zen
left to
Shuriken,
say, Phil? What is left to say
on
about
the
this
gifted
shit?
membership.
Like, oh,
Boom.
right. You
We're
don't
up to
take.
604
You're not a
now.
shill. You just shill yourself.
Thank you so much, Dan the Man, for supporting the channel.
You just shove yourself down Dan the Man's throat.
Rhino INV or Rhinoi NV.
You can't even talk right, dude.
Did a super chat and says, thank you for explaining the weather, Phil. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that someone needs to. I'm glad that someone finally did, because many of you are very confused about this. One time someone actually told me that they thought that the sun was outside their window trying to melt them. I said, that's not what's happening.
What?
Okay? It's a greenhouse effect. It's natural, but we've accelerated it. Don't worry. The sun is not out to get you. He's not waiting outside your door with a kitchen knife. All right? I swear to you.
You might be. Sun is a person, and it's coming for you. What are we? What is this, Phil? What are we doing
Okay.
right now? What the fuck?
Now, one quick thing.
Money stream.
Today's React Day. As soon as this stream, this podcast ends, we're going to swing over
What's he reacting
DSP
to?
Reacts, and we're going to do DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show.
Oh, okay.
Everything you see down here is retained for that, except the members, because the members are different per channel. But, for example, the Tip Skull, we keep that, and that transfers over to
look at that.
DSP Reacts. So right now we're already at $46.
Yeah, that makes
If we hit
sense.
$50, we'll have Gunner glasses for that stream. If we hit $100, you get to vote for a vest. So all that will transfer over, and that's good. I don't reset those goals just because we're going from stream to stream.
I'm
Or channel to
surprised.
channel.
I'm surprised
keep
you
that
don't.
there.
Though.
So, I would say, well, let's chill here for just a few more minutes, and then once we're done, we're gonna scoot over, and you're gonna see it's gonna pop up. It's gonna say, hey, go over to DSP Reacts, and I gotta set it up and everything. This should be a good one this week. Like I said, there's a good variety of clips this week, and I feel like this might be one of the better shows. I guess we'll see.
All right. Well.
Let's see here.
Well, it was fun. It was good. We had fun. We listened to Phil.
I received another $5 tip from Big Papa Pump. And he says, hold on one second. Let me add this, because now we're actually going to get Gunner glasses. Cool.
We conquered.
Let's do that quickly before we read what he has to say.
Conquered this podcast.
Gunner glasses
today.
time. It's a good start.
Gunner glasses time. Look at that.
Derek, I did see the other video that you sent about Chinese New Year, correct? So that is in the list as well. That's, I think, 29th. I think your Toronto video is 28th, and your
Better hope
Chinese
not.
New Year video is 29th. We'll see if we can get to them.
That vest streak is alive right now, alive and well. In Israel.
All right. Okay, now, hold on a second.
Keep it
I
alive,
misclicked.
Phil. Keep the vest
I
streak
misclicked.
alive.
I moved it to the wrong spot.
Phil, if the vest streak dies.
Okay, so Big Papa Plum
You die.
says, thank you for not using
In
clickbait
Minecraft.
thumbnails like everyone does. Usually, it's someone with a
Yeah.
stupid reaction pointing to the video, trying to look surprised to
It's
show off
like,
to show off something to a 10-year-old. It's frustrating. Thank you for not doing that.
What?
Have you seen those kind of thumbnails? Yes. Like, literally every single video everyone puts out has to have their face on it, no matter what the content of the video. It has to have their face in a weird overreaction. And it always has the same weird
those are
border
funny, Phil.
around the head. It's like a yellow or white border, so
Yeah.
their head stands out on the thumbnail. Okay?
I like the
And
more realism
it's
approach.
just ridiculous. It's like every video. I'm staring at one right now. I'm not even
to
shitting. I'm
make it
staring at a
look
thumbnail
like
that looks
it,
just like that
you
right
know,
now from our
as
React
real
playlist.
as I can.
All right?
Except sometimes. Sometimes I don't
Now,
care.
I'm not saying there aren't situations that make sense. All right? Because, for example, there are some thumbnails on DSP Reacts that look similar to that. However,
Oh, there you go.
it's usually a timely thing
There you go. So
for what I'm
you're
doing.
a fucking hypocrite.
So, for
You're
example,
a fucking hypocrite, dude.
the channel DSP Reacts has a show
And now
called
you're trying
DSP
to
versus
not
the
be
Internet.
called out for it.
It's me reacting to the internet. So the thumbnail is always going to be my face
He did the same
looking at a
shit,
bunch of
dude.
stuff that we're watching
He's
in
just
that
a
video.
hypocrite.
It's pertinent. And that's because that's the content. That's literally what it is. All right? But if you notice, I don't do that in gameplay, right? I don't do that on my podcast.
Oh,
right?
so
I don't do that on any
it's
video
okay.
that's not
It's okay to do it on
that
the other
distinct.
videos.
Actually,
just
that's
not...
what you'll find in the video. I'm
Dude,
not
he's
going to use that
he's
clickbait
so
bullshit.
fucking lame,
okay?
dude.
It always has been clickbait. That's been something they've been using
You're
for a
such a
long time. We were
lame-o,
literally
dude.
talking a couple months ago.
He's
We watched the
talking
Pro
shit
Jared
about people
documentary,
using clickbait.
and actually was determined he was one of the first people to do those. Did you know that? Pro Jared.
You're talking about dude, what the fuck? Yo. You're talking shit. You're literally talking shit about people making clickbait thumbnails. And then it literally in the same breath saying that you make the same ones, but it's okay because it's on another channel. What? Why though? Why is it okay? It's not okay, Phil. You're just a hypocrite. And now you're going to talk about Pro Jared. Okay, let's hear this.
Was actually one of the first people on YouTube to take his big head and put it in a face like this or like that or like and then have that superimposed over whatever he was doing. And he actually got a lot of views based on that. It just became something fad on the internet. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
I
like
try not
TikTok,
to abide
dude.
by most of the fads. I don't.
You know, it's like
But
TikTok
It's not that
content.
I'm immune or I'm completely opposed to them.
It's so
just that I
cringe
want
that
people to watch content for what it
people
is.
have to click it.
You know, every video should not be me in a cartoony looking face.
They're like,
you know,
I hate this
screaming or
picture,
doing something over something,
but
it's
I
not even what
really
every
need
video
to click
is,
on it.
right? I don't think any of my gameplay videos should have that at all, quite frankly. I'm glad that we have. If you take a look into the styles between DSP Gaming and DSP Reacts, they're very different. You know, the React channel has a lot of React style
it's
stuff
okay,
you would
'cause it's
expect,
not the same-
while
it's
the
not-
gaming channel
it's a
is
different channel,
focused
man.
heavily on the
What?
gaming aspects of everything I'm doing, rather than it being clickbait. You see? So thank you for that. Another tip is coming. Jeez.
Just hypocritical, dude. Like everything he does. It's just stupid. Bro, you're still getting tips? Dude, this is never
Oh,
gonna
this is
end.
hilarious. This is actually a very interesting question. Are you ready to this one? If you're so moral, how come you're one of the least respected YouTubers? It doesn't manifest to people that are consistently moral. Because respect on YouTube has nothing to do with reality. That's why. Literally, the level of respect you get on YouTube has nothing whatsoever to do with reality. It has to do with perception. It has to do with fads. It has to do with memes. It has to do with drama. And sadly, in the last decade or more, people have found ways to wrap me up in their horseshit drama time after time after fucking time. Sometimes it's my fault.
Oh, we got
because
you on this one,
admittedly,
huh?
I'll get wrapped up in it and then I respond to it. And when you
You got him on
respond to
this one.
drama, all it does is propagate more drama. But there have been many times when people have now determined it is fun to get Phil mixed up in our bullshit. And they will make shit up and they will literally start entire campaigns about me and against me that I have zero involvement in. But because they do that, it creates drama. And now guess what? People just think of Darkside Phil as someone involved in drama. Someone who's this, this, and this. Literally the things that most people don't like me for have absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing today. Me sitting here having a fun podcast with you, or playing a game, or doing a React event. The things people don't like me for are things that they've either made up or they've extrapolated upon from private life that have nothing whatsoever to do with the content I put on the internet. But that's what I have to deal with because that's what YouTube focuses on. YouTube doesn't focus on reality. It focuses on really immature, stupid shit, and people fall into that trap constantly. So you can say, well, why don't people respect you on YouTube if you're moral? Because so many immoral people pull me into their shit. It doesn't matter what I say or do.
Yeah, but
what matters is all that white noise bullshit that people see first.
We're
You
only
understand?
talking about you here,
If
Phil.
people go on YouTube and the first thing that they search for is
All this terrible shit that we talk about is just stuff that you do. Like, you are the topic, so I mean, you're the one that's an asshole piece of garbage. You know? These are all things that you're doing. I mean, if you just watch it back, if you just watch one of these videos, you could see, oh yeah, I'm being a piece of garbage there. I'm being a piece of garbage there. Oh, I'm being a piece of garbage the whole time. Okay. You just need to watch some of this shit back, Phil. and listen to how you talk, then you would see you're a piece of garbage. You even said, you even did that. Remember with the Scorn, the end of Scorn? The next day or the day after, he was like, I'm really sorry, guys. I watched the Scorn thing. I was egregiously, you know, I'm going to cut this e-begging shit out. I hated the way I sounded. And then he goes right back to begging. Like, cried about mobile games. Oh, I'm never going to play a mobile games again. And then what's he do? Goes right back to mobile games. Oh, man.
Dark Side Phil, they're going to find 17, 18, 20 videos
Phil?
about all this controversial nonsense that literally is not real and is fabricated bullshit or based on a nugget of truth that's extrapolated into nonsense that's not true. And it has nothing to do with what I'm doing on my stream. Very rarely.
Yeah, and he said that, like, we're campaigning against him. Nobody's campaigning, dude. Bro, this doesn't even take that much time. I mean, it takes time, but like this is like, what, we do the 2-hour stream and then I'll make some clips and a video and that's it. Like, this isn't a large part of my day, right? I'm going to go do something else after this. I'm not campaigning against you. I'm not, like, you know, obsessed with you. This is just a thing that I'm doing, you know, because people need to do it.
Will you find any of this content have to do something about, oh, you know, Phil really goofed today. He said something atrociously bad that hurt a bunch of people. You won't even find that. What you'll find is, oh, so-and-so said this about Phil. Oh, you know, Phil refuses to do this and get sucked into drama. This or that. Oh,
when did I say that
stupid
today?
bullshit controversy about mobile games or this nonsense or that nonsense that literally has nothing what the fuck to do with what I do on the internet. Nothing. Zero.
It does.
That's what they've turned me.
It's what you spend your money on.
Weird drama meme. You understand?
No.
And that's fucked up because I don't have anything to do with it. I want
you did
nothing
that yourself,
to do with it.
Phil.
I just want to be here and chill with my audience and have a
did
good
it to
time.
yourself,
and for those
brother.
who ignore that drama and actually come here and just relax with me, it's a great time. But that's the problem is there's so many people wrapped up in bullshit. They're too stupid to realize that it is bullshit. And they just believe everything. And they, oh, we love reveling in nonsense. Well, then live in your world of fucking nonsense. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to be involved in it. I refuse. Today, people trying to pull me into drama. Guess what? I'm not taking the bait. I'm going to do my thing, do my own content, as I've always done. Why would I be wrapped up in drama? I'm not an idiot, right? Okay. Continuing on, there's more tips, dude. Good lord.
What an absolute
more
buffoon.
Tips.
What a buffoon, dude. Oh, boy.
Pastor Yoda tipped me $2. Said, listening to you sing Usher and Jay-Z recently. Have you ever thought about taking song requests that you can sing for a certain tips goal?
I'm not a lolcow,
here's
guys.
the thing. I like
casually
messing around and singing on a stream. I think it's funny. I'm exploring a cave in Oblivion, and I start singing, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. I think it's silly, right? Yeah. It's not serious. Sure. It's fuck around. It's funny. It interrupts everything. It breaks up the monotony of maybe something that I'm doing on a stream. Do I really want to make that the purpose of a stream? I don't think so. I'm no singer. I don't really have the ability to sing well, nor any kind of length. Like, I can sing a small snippet of something, and that's it. If I just sit here and try to sing a stream, I lose my voice. I'm not a professional singer. You understand?
I understand, Phil. I understand that.
So I don't think it would make sense. If you guys thought that would be something interesting you'd like to see as like a one-off silly stream, I would consider it. Like, I've done it over the years. I used to play MLB. And when I was playing MLB, it would be the MLB karaoke stream where you guys would pick songs and I would sing a little bit of each one as I played MLB. So only if you thought about stuff like that, maybe I would consider, but I don't think it's going to be anything major, nor do I think it's something I want to do regularly. It's not something that my voice, you know, I'm older. My voice probably can't even accommodate it. The thing is, I'm a full-time streamer. I need to be able to talk 6 days a week full-time. If I lose my voice, I'm screwed. You understand? So maybe as every once in a while, something silly, or if you bring it up on a stream as something silly, but it's not something I want to do regularly.
No, just go back to being a non-interactive
another tip?
Streamer. Just don't
For
talk
Big
to
Papa
anyone.
Pump,
That would
your
actually
gameplay
be a
on
lot
demand
better.
doesn't have any kind of clickbait. Most YouTubers have normal gameplay with clickbait. Reacts I can understand because that's the actual video. There you go. And that's the point I'm making is, listen.
Yeah, that's actually good. Phil, go back to saying nothing. Like, not interacting with chat. If you did that, you know what I think? I think all the hate would fade away. If you just never say another word.
I had opportunity. Remember, I've been around on YouTube for a very long time. 15 years. I was there at the dawn of everyone using the clickbait title, everyone using the clickbait thumbnail, everyone using the face cam and overacting on camera to get attention. I was there. I said I'm not going to do that. I was more innovative to not do the trends that were the cheap ways to get attention. And sadly, yeah, I definitely suffered for it. People call me the dinosaur or whatever and insulting me because I wanted to make more meaningful content, right?
You are a dinosaur.
And I took the flack for it. But I don't want to be the person, the only reason you come to see my video is because there's a stupid face on the thumbnail or, you know, a dumb title. I try to make stuff informative and interesting for an audience that really appreciates that I'm different from the others. And I hope you guys understand that's why I do that, okay?
Do the one chip challenge, Phil.
Okay.
Do the one chip challenge.
We got a $1 tip here.
Received a tip. Dirty troll?
And it's just a troll. And like I said, we don't entertain trolls, fuck off. Cool. Manny Ichi has re-upped his membership for 3 months. Says, can I get a shout out to my lizard? Sure. Shout out to your lizard. Hope your lizard's doing well.
Shout out Puff.
Spawn Killer has
Puff's
gifted a membership
okay
to the
right now.
channel, and that membership went to Guts. Congratulations, Guts, on getting a gifted membership this morning, and thank you, Spawn Killer, for supporting the channel. So that gets us to 605 members. Now, as we adjourn the podcast and we swing over to DSP Reacts, obviously the leaderboard, you know, the members are going to change for DSP Reacts, but then later today they'll swing back to this channel. So hopefully we'll hit 610 by the end of the day when we start playing Zelda later tonight, all right? But everything else remains, like the tips and everything will remain for DSP Reacts for us to try to hit our other goals for the stream, okay? Shout out to Golden Colts Backup, who is a member for 6 months now. I know they got a gifted membership last night. He said, yo, DSP, what's your favorite zoo animal? Meerkats for me. My favorite zoo animal? Oh,
shout
good
out
Lord.
Meerkat.
Penguins.
Let's go.
I think penguins are cute. There you go.
Meerkat.
Let's see here. Big Papa Pump did another $2 tip. I respect that. You don't follow along with that. It's so refreshing. Well, thank you, Big Papa Pump.
Yeah. Sadly,
I appreciate all your support. All these tips this morning are very nice.
I can't receive a membership.
And I'm happy that you like the fact that I march to the beat of my own drummer, right? I'm not doing all the other things that everyone else does to get ahead. I never have.
Phil gets nothing from me.
Okay.
Not even a fucking subscription.
I got a $1 tip. Someone says, it's not that you don't follow trends, it's that you don't do anything new, unique, or revolutionary. Well, admittedly, you might be right. It's because I've been around for 15 years, and my audience is a very long-watching audience who like what I do. You understand? Like, people who are innovators on YouTube, what are they really doing? Right? Drama shit. Right?
Oh,
look what I
Phil.
did. I did
We're talking
drama
about
content
Phil.
that's fluff and meaningless and actually hurtful to people.
No.
Wow, you're a great innovator, aren't you? Right? Like,
but you say
the things
everything
I'm
for
doing,
me, Phil.
people tell me all the time have meaning. Maybe meaningful content isn't necessarily innovative, but at least it has some substance to it. And if people tell me every day, Phil, thank you so much for what you do. I listen to your
the link is in the
podcast
description,
behind the scenes
Jerry.
at work or whatever, and it really entertains me. It calms me down. I watch your gameplay when I get home from school or work after a stressful day. It really makes me feel good, puts a smile on my face. And I had a really bad day, and you know I watched your stuff today, and I had a great time. Or I jumped on your stream, and we actually had a conversation together live on your stream, which I can't do with any other content creator. And it was meaningful to me, and I appreciate that. Why do you think I'm 15 years in? All right?
Meaningful.
I don't have a ginormous viewer base. I don't. But I'm still able to do this as a job. Why do you think that's the case? Do you think it's because everyone thinks that I suck? No, it's because I have a dedicated viewer base that like what I do. Despite the fact that there are a bunch of morons on YouTube who literally have turned me into a negative meme,
yes,
there's a substantial amount of hardcore viewers who like what I do. It's called curated content.
No, that's
it's
a good idea, though.
designed specifically
I
for
should
a
monetize
certain
his ass,
group.
dude.
You understand?
I spend enough money on
and
this
those
fucking
people
food.
appreciate what I'm doing and support it, or else I wouldn't be here.
That's a good idea,
get
dude.
a confusing thing.
100%.
Right?
I'm going to monetize
So,
my cat. 100.
People look at other streamers who get made fun of on the internet, and if you look at other streamers on the internet who get made fun of constantly, if you look at the vast majority of the contributions
Motherfucker owes
they
me
get,
anyway.
it's from people who hate them. It's from people who say, "I hate you, I pity you, I think you're embarrassing. Here's some money." Just keep the clown show going. That's literally what they get told on their streams.
Keep
And
the
these
clown
people
show going.
are essentially
Keep
making
it going,
content
Phil.
and making money off of being derided. All right?
Phil, keep it going.
I think that's sad. I think it's unfortunate that some people have to live like that. I don't have to.
That's how the world...
I actually make a living
Phil.
off of people who like what I do. There are tons of people who don't like me.
Okay, real quick. Phil, the world has always been like this. Listen, people used to watch hangings and beheadings, you know, and people getting tortured. That was the entertainment. You've seen Braveheart, right? That was the entertainment. You know, you should be lucky that now it's just, oh, hey, that guy, you know, let me make fun of that guy because he's an e-bagger and he deserves it. Times are much better now, Phil. I don't think you realize that.
And they're not the people who are here supporting me. It's actually people who like the content that support me. That's the difference that separates me from those other people, is that I actually have a fan base that enjoys what I'm doing. You see? So, thank God. Because I tell you right now, if I didn't have a fan base who appreciated what I did, I wouldn't do it. If it was just people shitting on me all day, I would not make any content. I would quit. I would. The day that I feel that I don't have anything to contribute positive to the world,
on you all day.
I will be gone from the internet. But that's not the case. You understand? It's the opposite. I get overwhelming levels of positivity and support, and I love that. That people see through.
From like two
Despite
people.
all the things that are against me.
From like two people.
People see through it all. The
Two
smokescreen
people.
of horseshit and drama
Everybody
and
else
immature
hates
nonsense
you.
that is YouTube. Excuse me.
Phil, like two people like you.
And
That's
they're
it.
able to see that at the core of
Don't
it
you get that?
is someone like me who actually has passion for what he does and wants to keep going and helping people with that content. That's why I don't do the shit that all these idiots try to pull me into. I refuse, because I actually have dignity and self-respect for myself and the content I put out, and I have respect for my audience, that people want to see meaningful stuff and not crap.
Sure,
and I'm not
sure.
going to make crap. I'm going to make good, positive stuff that's going to help the people who watch it. You understand? Okay.
Why do you think we gather for this clown
Another
show,
tip
Phil?
is coming. Good Lord. I guess we're never going to finish the podcast today.
Nope.
Another tip from Big Papa Pump. You really helped me make it through COVID with your streams. I've been around since way before then on demand when you were just
Big
a
Papa
YouTuber,
Dent.
but you made a
Let's
big
go.
difference for me. And there you have it. You can't make this up.
There
this
it
is
is.
the kind of message I get all the time.
You
Does
can't
that
make this
sound
shit up,
like
man.
that's from someone who hates me and someone who thinks that all my content is shit and the only reason that they're supporting me is because I'm a joke and they feel bad for me? No,
Yeah,
it's the
pretty much.
opposite. It's literally the opposite.
You're
And you want to know
dented.
what? Why
You're
do you
dented.
think there's so many people who can't stand it? They can't stand it because they've tried so hard to bring me down and it doesn't work. They've tried every avenue.
What do you
And
mean?
it's like, shit, he's still there making the content he
Are you
likes.
kidding me?
He's still making a living
It hasn't
doing
worked?
What the fuck? We tried so hard and
We tried so hard, it didn't work. Twitch, hit. Streamlabs, hit. Where else is Phil hit? He's banned off some more shit, right? Dude, it's only a matter of time before you just get swept off the entire fucking internet, dude. Don't you get that?
yeah. I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter
Oh,
what
you're
happens.
going.
It doesn't matter if
Oh, you're going eventually.
YouTube gets shut down, I get
Trust me.
shut down off of YouTube. If Twitch gets shut down, I get shut down off of Twitch. It doesn't matter what, no matter what, I'm going to find a
Yeah.
platform. I'm going to
Yeah.
make content. I'm going to be successful. These people are never going to stop me. You
Keep
understand? Never.
knocking
I
you down a
refuse.
peg,
I refuse
knocking
to
you
be
down a
stopped.
peg until
You
you're
know who
all
will
the way
stop
at
me?
the fucking
Me.
bottom.
The day that I decide it's time to hang up the mantle and quit and say I've done enough. I hope that you guys loved all the years I shared with you and gave you, the meaningful content you wanted, but it's time to retire, then I'll do it. But it's when I decide, not when every other piece of garbage on the internet who likes to hurt people decides. It's when I decide.
You can't fire
understand?
me, I quit.
That's what sets me apart. I'm not here to just
Phil.
entertain toxic people and take money to be made fun of. I'm here to make meaningful content for nice people, good people who appreciate who I am and what I do. That's why I'm still here today.
Bill, you're going nowhere, dude. Let's be real.
Okay. Very nice.
Nowhere but down. One step forward, 3 steps back.
I think we finally covered everything, huh?
I fucking hope so, Phil. I really do. I want to go stretch. My back kind of hurts.
A lot of people are actually saying nice things. Jackson in the chat says, I've been watching you since Sly Cooper 1. You've always been a cool, humble person. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
A cool, humble person? Does that sound like a real
JD
thing?
TV, congrats on that. He says we got through the entire Street Fighter collection.
A cool, humble
fought
person.
Akuma.
Wow. Phil, if they say
Mark
anything
says,
else...
I'll show my kids your content when I have some. Only show them the content since 2017.
Yeah,
Old Phil, before I became an interactive
right.
streamer,
No. Don't show
that
any
was
content
really
from Phil.
adult-oriented, risque, immature shit. I will openly admit that. But I really tried hard in the last 5 to 6 years to make better content. And I think that would be more meaningful content to watch and share to someone. Okay?
I love that he doesn't give a fuck and he just left all the racist shit up so we can use it against him. Phil, I want to personally thank you for being so brave and leaving all your hateful content up on the internet so we can go back, clip everything we want, and just make you look like a complete piece of garbage. Like, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart. And it's still up. All of it's still available. That's great, Phil. Thank you. I continue to thank you for all to see. Some of it's gone, but it's been saved, you know. But a lot of it's still up.
It's good to...
All right. That's going to be the stream, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to bounce. So, have a good day.
Interestingly enough, a study followed 48,000 men for an average of 10 years and discovered that within 2 years of a gout diagnosis, the risk of erectile dysfunction was 77% higher. Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Inflammation's on my feet. Oh yeah, it's hurting me.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Inflammation's on my feet. Oh yeah, it's hurting me.
Gout.
That's what it's about. Put some cherry juice right in my mouth. Eating all the red meat. Bitch, please look at my feet. That's what it's about. It's that
Gout.
got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Inflammation's on my feet. Oh yeah, it's hurting me.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Inflammation's on my feet.
Gout.
Oh yeah, it's hurting me.
Gout.
Take that bitch out for the clout. If you know what that shit's about, shut your mouth. Yeah, that bitch is so fucking fat. I'm just stating facts. Might just hit it from the back. Yeah, kinda shit to make my hardware into Microsoft. Eating so much red meat, I don't wanna stop. Might need to pop a blue pill. If I don't hit that ass, I don't know who will.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud going.
Gout.
Inflammation's on my feet. Oh yeah, it's hurting me.
Gout.
Got that gout cloud